Happy Road.
Okay. So when last we left the last group of adventurers, they all died except for two. Um, they approached Greenest. They got to Greenest. It was under siege by a dragon and a whole bunch of kobolds and people generally wearing cult-related materials on them. And you guys went and you saved some people at the very front gates who were being attacked by kobolds. Then you ran out to the mill where you attacked some people trying to burn down the mill. Then you guys went to the Sally Port where it all kind of fell apart and we triggered 3 encounters at once and you guys ultimately succumbed to the dragon. Everyone died except for Urist and Kanik. Urist decided that perhaps if this is what he was getting into, maybe it wasn't for him. His grandfather was the Dragon Slayer, not him.
His grandmom.
His grandmom.
You're right.
His grandmom was a Dragon Slayer.
It can be hard to tell them apart.
It can. They both have such long beards.
Oh, dwarves.
Well, yeah, of course.
And so that's kind of where we ended last time. And this time where we're going to pick up is it's been many hours later into the siege. And at this point, Kanik would have woken up and probably been brought to wherever the makeshift infirmary was and healed back up to his full potential. So I'll give a long rest to the combat tracker because he's the only one on it.
Oh. What's your question there, Canning?
Music Steve is louder this week.
It's the second half of this song. That's what gets louder.
Yeah, for some reason the second half of this song is really loud, but it's the exact ambiance I wanted.
No, I mean it works. It gets loud.
So, as the sun is starting to come up and Kanik is ready to go back to trying to get through this because running doesn't really seem like an option. He comes out from the hospital area and is met by somebody in the town who calls themselves. I had memorized this name, and now
Had you?
But have you forgotten it now?
His name is Governor Nighthill, and he comes over and says, "If you could just, help us out one more time, we'll be, kind of forever indebted to you and your fallen party for the help that you did bring. You ended up scaring off the dragon, after all, and we can already never repay you. But if you can come back to the town square one more time for us, there's a situation going on there, and all I really know is that there's hostages involved, and if you could help us out with that, we've already asked a lot of you so far, but if you could help us out, that would be super awesome."
All right.
I guess
Okay.
our corpses must have been pretty scary.
So this is where I'm going to introduce the rest of the party, but they're not going to get really any time to do anything. They're more going to see this coming into view before they'd be close enough to really do anything about what's happening in town square. But tell us about our new adventurers, all except for Zap, who's further behind the party. Zap actually still lives here. He lived here with Mud, and he's somewhere else. What was Zap doing why did he leave?
Well, Mud and Zap both went off to different neighboring villages in order to do some studies. Both of them have interests in separate fields. Mud, obviously, anything to do with dirt and water, and Zap more interested in the sky. Anyway, they both weren't supposed to return for some time, but yeah, something drew Zap back a little bit sooner, and on his way back, he was able to see this in the distance.
Okay, so he's not with March and Barnaby, who potentially crossed paths on the way there.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about Barnaby.
Right. Barnaby is a druid from the nearby forest. He went out to try and harness the power of nature back in his heyday, and had a mishap with an attempt to control bees. Swarm druids are, I guess, historically pretty like nefarious folks, but in this case, the bees kind of won. So he's not so much a druid who controls bees, but a bunch of bees, like sylvan spirits in the form of bees that control a druid. More so.
Are you in a trench coat?
What? He actually wears imagine like an armored medieval version of like a beekeeper suit. It's got like a screen that kind of hides his face, so he can't see it very well. But there's basically just always like an ominous droning coming from behind it. And yeah, he's at the moment the dragon attacked, did a lot of damage to the forest, and he's pretty pissed off about like the destruction of the habitat of the natural bees.
So is that like the
Yeah,
Spider-Man that
he's
is made
gonna
up
try
of
to
a
do
million
something about it.
spiders?
What?
Barnaby is made up of bees, so it's like the Spider-Man that's made up of a million spiders.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like it.
1 sec, I'm gonna get Music Steve playing in the right channel again so that I don't.
Full Metal Beekeeper.
Are you
The
not
full
gonna-
bees
Oh, God.
alchemist. Just
There
full
we
of
go.
bees.
So, and tell us about March.
He's a hare. He's a hare. Lost everything where he lived due to dragons. It's a bit mysterious, a little bit crazy, and yeah, he kind of wandered behind Cheshire, following the same trail. And that's all you get.
What race does hare translate to?
Paragon. There is a hare race in D&D.
Oh my god, I did not know.
Yeah.
Yup.
I wonder if I have a picture of Haragon class, like the actual D&D Haragon class race. Come on. Do I not have Haragon?
Harengon. Okay.
It's Harengon, sorry.
Yeah. Sharingon.
Okay. Yeah, I don't actually have the reference to it. So that was pulled in from D&D Beyond entirely.
Apparently it was. If you don't have
What?
I think that's from Multiverse.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have Multiverse, but that's
Ah.
good that it still worked.
Yeah, that's cool.
The wild beyond the witchlight.
It
Is
could
that
have
Wild
been
Behind the
from that as well.
Witch Site? Or was that Multiverse also had a Harengon to it?
Yeah, this is a picture of a Harengon proper. They're
Okay.
they're literal bunny people. So for March and Barnaby, they're going to see what's about to happen, but they're not going to make it in time to really do anything. So let's advance a little bit in the music here, and from the kind of darkness, it's early in the morning here. A creature strides into the dim light of the dying fires around the keep. Although it's shaped roughly like a human, it is at least 7 feet tall, its skin covered in blue scales, its fingers bear wicked claws, and it has a muzzle and face has a muzzle and reptilian eyes, sorry, of a dragon. The creature stops about 80 yards from the main gate of the keep and scans the walls. A line of kobolds fan out behind it with their spears. They prod 4 human prisoners into the dim light. Tanik, you can make out a woman, a teenage boy in a blood-soaked tunic, and 2 children. And then,
Well, quote unquote saved.
yeah, then the half-dragon creature hails the keep. And he says, Defenders of Greenest, this has been a successful night, and I'm feeling generous. Do you see these pitiful, useless prisoners that I have no need for? I'm willing to trade them back to you. Send out your best warrior and fight me, and you can have all 4 in exchange. And this is what the governor wants you to do. And Nighthill approaches you and he says, you've demonstrated your prowess all through the night, and I realize it's an awful burden to ask you to bear. But you have better chances to defeat that horror than my militia would.
I'll do it for Mega.
Okay.
And I walk over and rip a shield off of one of the soldiers. And I'll be taking
Sure.
this.
Now I need the NPC version of him, because I don't. You know what? Fine. I'll just pull the whole encounter on and delete all the stuff I don't need. There, that'll do. We're not really going to need a map for this. You're going to be in range if you want to be, and he's going to be in range if he wants to be. And it's a 1v1, so we can just do our actions with the combat tracker. I'll have you target him. I think I can, or no, I guess I need a map. Okay.
I can target him without that.
Okay. How are you able to target him?
I control-clicked him on the combat tracker,
Cool.
which is way more convenient than doing tokens.
I wonder why I can't target. That'll be okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. So, roll your initiative. That's decent. I'll roll his now. What's your dex? You guys have tied.
It's just straight
10.
0.
It's a 0.
Yep.
Oh, he wins. He's got a +1. Okay. So he turns to you and uh-oh.
And does nothing.
No, I just changed his token. Okay. There. I fixed
Awesome,
it.
we're both Arg monsters.
So I guess I'll just roll it and we'll go that way. So we are gonna have him attack twice with his sword. I'm guessing a 9 doesn't hit.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nor does that.
And he doesn't have any bonus actions, so that's it for his first turn.
Cool, he gets a firebolt to the face.
Okay.
Nice.
This is going to be a great fight. I can feel it.
Oh, is it though?
22 will likely hit,
Yep.
and 14 damage.
I'm gonna
That's gonna
use my
hit.
reaction to cast shield.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah.
He also crits on a 19.
Well, that wasn't a 20 roll. That was a like he
Yeah.
did crit off that.
So that's 11 more damage, and you're down.
Good loss.
Well, this one's kind of a scripted fall for whoever decides they want to actually do it. So it I don't think it really mattered who.
Right, it's a fall, but not like a death. It's just like you're getting knocked out.
Of town. And at this point, a team of healers come out, and they heal you back up again. And that is actually the end of. Oh, did Music Steve just run away on us? That's actually the
Bye,
end of
Music
chapter
Steve.
1. That's where chapter 1 canonically ends. So I will put up the next picture here, and we will move on to chapter 2. Or episode 2, I guess, in this. Episode 2.
Episode
Set
2,
back
chapter
up.
1. Episode 2, chapter 2.
Yeah. Oh, and it didn't even set it. That's even better. I love it when it doesn't do what it says it'll do.
Yeah.
And my music stopped. Most professional stream. There we go.
Doesn't need to be high quality when you program against a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Everything pales in comparison to Super Bowl. That's what we all have in common, right? We all pale in comparison to the Super Bowl. Okay, copy. And get that music going again. And yeah, you guys would get in, and you guys would see the healers coming out to heal this sorcerer who just fought a half dragon.
Barnaby would lend some healing. He would help out.
They seem to have it covered. They have enough med kits to do it. They're able to get them full. You can help if you want, but I don't know if I'd expend anything on it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. And who are you guys?
Well, there was a lot of fire, a lot of bad things happening. Thought we'd probably check it out. Am I right? It was kind of rough.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. A dragon descended on our tiny, quaint town, and then all of a sudden we were overrun by kobolds and men in robes. They ransacked our village, took everything of value, and that was them leaving.
Sounds bad. Unfortunate things.
And at this point, Zap would be close enough to run in quickly.
Okay. I'll run in. Governor, what has happened?
And Governor Nighthill explains what he knows of last night. He wasn't with the party all night, but he knows that out of nowhere, a blue dragon descended on town and started killing people. And before they could even get their bearings about them, the front gates were being stormed by more kobolds and people in robes, and they went into basically every building in town and took every piece of loot they could possibly find. All while killing and slaughtering people in the streets. And he would say, I have something to talk to you about personally, Zap.
Personally, what are my parents okay?
I think it's probably too early to tell who were casualties and who weren't, but your brother was here when it happened.
Well, that can't be right. He should still be studying for another few months. What was he doing here?
I don't know. I didn't see him alive.
I see.
I
How?
can take you to see him if you want.
How did it happen? He was the most skilled wizard this town has.
He was, from what I understand, trying to take down a full-size dragon. The one that was burning down the city.
Oh, Mud. You fool. You always were a lovable one. He loved this town. He wouldn't back down from anybody. Not even a dragon.
We'll see to it that he's buried in a hero's tomb.
I appreciate it, Governor. And, if you find anything or hear anything about my parents, please let me know. I've lost enough for one day.
And he says, if you guys could do something for me, the raiders didn't get absolutely everything. I could probably, cobble together 1,200 gold in exchange for some information. If you guys could go get it for me. We want to hit them back, and we want to hit them back hard, but we need to know some information about where they are and how many there are before we make decisions like that. They couldn't all get too far away with everything they took. They can't be that far away.
Well, they took my brother from me, so I'm in.
Information for money makes sense.
Barnaby says, they must pay for what they've done to the forest.
Koenig says, "You're not the only one who's lost someone they care about. So let's go get these bastards."
And
Aye.
Governor Nighthill explains that what he would like to know is where they are, and roughly how many of them there are, and how many prisoners they've taken. If you can come back with that information, they will pay you handsomely.
Do you know what direction they went in? Do you know where we find this information?
They went towards the southeast.
Southeast, got it. East then south.
Yes.
Or south then east.
Why, sorry.
I think you get to the same spot.
Yeah,
Well, honestly, you can go one way, you can go the other. Could be too different, could be the same.
I feel like you might just do both.
Yeah, I think
I haven't thought of that
once.
before.
Let's do both at the same time.
Southeast, exactly.
Do I know of any like landmarks in that general direction?
I don't know that you would have been there, but you would know that there's some pretty steep, like, rocky areas back there.
Okay.
And if you were to keep going that way, you'd eventually probably get to some caves. Like, think like stereotypical, like, carved out in the side of a mountain dwarf tunnel stuff. You would know that that stuff's over there. Okay. So, Governor Nightail says, I think the sooner you guys leave, the better. Unless there's something we can provide you with. We don't have much at this point, but we might be able to help with a weapon or two or something.
Do you have any spare chainmail?
Yeah, we could probably get that. And they go to their armory, and they are able to get a chainmail for you.
And that shield I stole that I don't have.
Okay,
Please.
chainmail. Okay, I'll do this on the party sheet. Inventory, rebuild. Okay, and a chainmail and a shield. Okay, and distribute. There you go.
Thank you. I would even like auto-equip them too.
Oh, did it? Nice. I didn't know it would do that. And I'll throw the rest of you on the tracker as well, just so you're there.
Do you have a spoon by chance?
Yeah, definitely. We would have a lot of spoons.
It's the only way I can tell which is north.
Oh, that's odd.
That's what
Do you
they
want
say.
do you want a big spoon or a little spoon?
I mean, for you, probably I'll be the big spoon. He just looks very confused at that remark. Spoons, any size, any spoon size.
Spoon size? Okay, here we go. A spoon for for hair. Spoon.
He just takes it out, points it in a direction, is like, that's north. Turns around to the south. That's south. That's east. Okay, good. Let's go.
And when you guys get right outside the town gate, a young man walks up to you, limping heavily on a bandaged left leg, and he says, I hear you intend to follow the raiders and see where they've gone. I'd like nothing better than to come with you, but in this condition, I'd just slow you down. In the midst of all this tragedy, there's no reason you would have heard about the fate of my master, Leosin Erlenthar. But it's important, you know. He is a monk from Burdusk. He disappeared last night after we fought a particularly savage battle against raiders. A few others and I fought our way to the keep, barely. Leosin didn't make it at all. We went back this morning to look for him, but all we found was his broken staff and his choker, which he always wore. And My name is Nisim. Leosin has been investigating these raiders for months. I fear that he may have tried to infiltrate the group when they retreated, or worse, perhaps he was captured and carried away as a prisoner. No one understands these bandits better than he does, and his knowledge will be invaluable fighting against them. When you find their camp, please look for him. One of my brothers has already departed for Burdusk to bring back help, but that will be many days before they arrive. Anything you could do before then would very much be a godsend.
We'll keep an eye out.
Okay. So,
Is
Oh,
he
go ahead.
east or is he south?
southeast.
Yes.
Which one?
Which one? It's a combination of the two.
Wish someone had told me that one before. I'll have to try it. Takes out the spoon, points in a direction. North, south. He just does that every time someone stops conversation to figure where he's going.
Making sure north isn't moving on him.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. When you get to where the trail would be, you can see a swath of grass is trampled down. It's impossible to determine the number of people who walked this path, but there were a lot of them. You see some footprints clearly human, some footprints clearly kobold. And that's all you can see.
Are they following the path?
Yeah, like the path would be this beaten down
Gotcha.
grass, heavily beaten down.
Then we should probably also follow the path.
That would be
Yeah.
a good idea, perhaps.
Can we track them?
Make a perception check.
Can I help?
Oh, not survival? Heck.
And yeah, you can help. So roll again. I saw the dice going before I answered, so I just waited to see what it was.
Oh, sure.
Even better.
I did grab
Um,
guidance, by the way.
Everybody gets
And-
guidance.
And a D4 on top of that. And you can tell that many of the non-human footprints are much deeper on the retreat than they were on the way there.
So they're heavier,
Hmm.
laden down with loot. Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
And you guys are able to follow this trail for about 12 miles. And then you get to a more rugged region where you're kind of in the middle of like two rocky, steep sides where there's high plateaus and there's rolling hills between the plateaus. As you kind of get closer in the distance, you can kind of see the smoke of a small campfire and people moving around. This would be, probably, 12 miles away from town.
How far away is the people?
They're far enough away that you can only make out that there's some people that are like 6 feet tallish, you would guess, out in the distance, and some humanoid figures significantly shorter than them as well.
I want to scout it out a little bit
Okay.
quietly, if at
Uh,
all possible.
Give me a stealth roll. Okay. You're very stealthy. and you go up a bit further, and you scout them for a little bit, and you realize that there are 4 humans wearing the same robes as the people who got to the city, and there are 8 kobolds. And even during probably the minute that you stood there to make sure nobody came out of anywhere, you would notice that the people in the robes are acting as if they are the bosses of the kobolds.
Gotcha.
They seem to be arguing over how to cook some hens.
The way I stealth is I essentially didn't say anything. I just like went down to the ground and went ahead, and then I'm just gonna pop back up in the group out of nowhere, and then say everything that I just was told in the center of the group. Just gone 1 second, look, come back, pop back up. Of our group, not the camp, because that would be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're just walking. You guys might even be continuing to walk, because I say nothing. I'm just gone, and then I'm back.
Barnaby like looks around bewildered, like, what the hell?
There's 12
Yeah, like,
total.
while you guys
Janik
were
just kind of like
discussing-
pokes him.
While you guys were arguing about what that could have been up ahead, March just pops back and he's like, well, it's this.
Yeah.
Did you say you poked me? Yeah.
Just gently.
Okay, yeah. You poke me. I take out the spoon. North, south, east. Okay.
What's this? An enemy encampment underpopulated by bees?
Bing.
What will you do?
Uh,
When? Could not.
I guess Barnaby will ask, how many did you see?
Or was it 8 kobolds, 4 cultists?
Yeah.
4 robes? 8
Yeah.
tiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, could be difficult. Could get done.
Feels like there's a few too many for a group our size. Depending on how skilled each of you are, I've not yet seen. Except for maybe this little one here.
Barnaby says,
Are you talking about bar chair? Because he's like 6 feet.
Our chair's 6 feet.
Yeah, I made him the full size Haragon. Haragon.
I mean, it's a good
Jesus.
thing I'm 6'1", so you are little to me.
Barely looking down. When you say little one, he actually just gets lower. He purposely bends down a little bit to match your description of him.
Barnaby says, it's possible, but we're going to need more bees. And he'll actually start like looking around, to see if they can find any like beehives hanging from trees or anything.
In the ground.
You find some bees pollinating flowers, random flowers around.
Oh, unfortunate. No like beehives that I could like huck at the camp.
No, you're kind of around a rocky settlement at the moment.
All right. It's not his first choice, but he'll go looking for like ground wasps then.
Sure. Make a survival check.
Guidance.
Oh, that's not good.
Brutal.
You can't seem to find them. Maybe they're hiding under rocks or something, and they know you're coming. They know you're the bee guy. They don't know what you'll do to them. Being the bee guy, not the wasp guy, and they just elude you.
This is a forsaken place. There are no bees.
Are you guys going to approach or try to go around them or try to talk to them or what, or fight them, or what's the deal here?
I mean, do they know anyone other than Koenig? Have they seen anyone?
They might not even know Koenig.
They might not even know Koenig. We could just go in there. What are they about?
Only Koenig has seen any of the symbols for who they are or anything like that.
What?
I was actually
What a-
directly asking Koenig because he's the only one we know. Yeah.
They look like the cultists and the kobolds from the attack. Did they have any symbols on them?
Did they?
Yeah, they have the Cult of the Dragon symbol.
Could pretend we like dragons? Dragons. Could pretend.
Yeah. Where does that get us? If we get into their camp, pretending to be on their side or whatever, assuming they don't just attack us anyway, what positional advantage do we now have?
Information. We're here for information. Information for gold.
So would it not be better to keep watch over them and trail them for information?
We could. Either one's fine.
There are a lot of them and 4 of us, and I've already gotten my ass kicked twice in the last day.
True.
That's
True.
fine. We don't have to fight. Fighting's not necessary at all.
Feel like
And
these are not
March-
the type to
Make a perception check, March, for
make
back.
small talk.
See if there's something you would have noticed from down there.
Perception.
You weren't
I didn't.
specifically looking for it, but you were looking hard. So let's see if you noticed this.
That's cool. I didn't actually roll that. Well, let's see what it rolls this time. That's pretty much the exact same thing. I'll take it. That's nature.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a +3, so it'd be 15. I picked the
Okay.
wrong one. Yeah. Sorry, it'd be 18 total. There we go.
So you noticed that the path that you guys are following continues past them.
Could go past. Could sneak. How are we sneaking? Everyone else good?
Well, like the beaten down path, like the trail that you're following, I guess I should say, extends like past them. They seem to be on this path, but like it keeps going. The heavy footprints and all that.
But we'd have to
continue
go.
on.
We'd have to get around them, right, to
Yeah,
get to the path.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Could sneak. Everyone good at sneaking? Could try and sneak past.
I haven't snuck around since I was a young boy, but I was pretty good back in the day.
I'm just gonna while I'm saying that, I'm gonna do the same thing where I kind of try and disappear. That was the stealth roll, and then pop up like behind Zap as he was speaking. Sneak like
Yeah.
this.
Not anything quite like that. No, that's quite a skill you have there.
Oh, thank you.
Be warned, I'm a little jumpy.
I'll make sure to work
Uh,
next time.
with my powers. You could say it's a bit of a jump startle.
Don't worry, the rabbit's also a bit jumpy.
I do jump around a lot, yes. But I find this helps, and I pull out a fork. Take this fork. It'll help you be less jumpy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As I take the fork from him, little tiny bits of electricity come off my fingers, bridge the gap to the fork before I grab it.
I jump a little bit in the air from the shock.
Tiny little tingle.
So if you're not that quiet, we might not want to do that. We could always try and tail them. Slowly. Walk behind them.
The fork. Yes.
It'll matter later, definitely.
Yeah, I'll use it to create forked lightning.
Ah.
I quit.
He is Shank Zappa.
Oh.
So these guys are stopped and trying to cook a hen as well. So if you guys were gonna try to follow them, you don't know how long you might have to wait. They haven't started cooking this hen yet. They were arguing about how to cook it. And they had like a little
So-
fire set up.
Is anybody here a chef? Anybody here skilled in that department? Perhaps we could say we saw them struggling and assist them that way, and then maybe they'll let us pass.
What do we know about kobolds? Can they typically be reasoned with?
Not a lot. I don't. Let's see. Yeah, not really. No. They might be. They're wiser than they are smart.
Yeah, I mean, their stomachs could do the talking.
I think if we try to reason, we should also prepare a fight, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing many options here. If you don't think we can stealth by,
I mean, we can try the stealth, but also prepare to fight. Also another option. Always make sure to prepare to fight, just in case something goes wrong.
wise old hair. Young hair? I don't know. How old are you?
Old,
Do you
Ish.
do you appear old?
honestly, I don't know.
Never met another one like me. I don't know how old we live to.
He's
Yeah.
very similar to the picture in in Fantasy Grounds. So like old, but and a little bit crazy looking.
Okay. Okay.
So old to be
Yeah.
sneak or talk.
Think I would rather sneak, as I have no knowledge of cooking.
Skill check is that?
Animal handling?
Really?
I think you need proficiency in cooking tools because you're a
Probably.
like, from one of the
Yeah.
backgrounds you get that.
Likely.
Part
I
of
like
the,
animal handling though. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Part of me says, I've never had to cook anything.
Interesting.
Ominous.
Interesting. One of those vegetarian types.
It just eats nectar and honeycomb.
You could say
Surprised
that.
you have any teeth left.
That's what I at least flavor the good berry as.
Mm.
Maybe
All right.
occasionally like flowers.
A diet of flowers and honeycomb.
Yeah. Dude is bees.
That seems normal.
He's bees in a coat.
Yeah, it's fine. He's just a billion bees in a trench coat.
Just thought about it. big metal beekeeper suit that constantly drones. Guessing there's a stealth disadvantage somewhere there.
Nah.
I mean, I'm assuming that like the bees could like stop droning if he's trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
Mm.
I won't. This is gonna be this.
No, it was more the
adventure-
metal armor, but
this I mean, he doesn't.
Uh,
he's not taking any armor bonus.
It's not metal armor.
Oh.
It's
It's cloth,
is it
isn't
leather,
it?
I think.
Or leather? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's-
okay.
Mechanically,
armor.
it's just medium armor, but thematically, it's a metal beekeeper suit.
Well, not even metal. When I say armored, I mean
Just
like it's got
armored.
like
Okay.
padded hide armor on it.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay. Really thick beekeeper suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right, then
medieval
yeah,
beekeepers.
my vote is to try and get by them, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody roll stealth.
Guidance is all around.
Sure.
Guidance is D4 on top. I got a 23 total.
And
I got a 22.
I wonder if you can type D4 in modifiers.
I quickly disappear and appear behind the hair and say boo.
I can apply the effect to them.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
That's okay. We're good for this time. So you guys make it past, no problem. As you guys kind of walk closer to the camp, you can kind of hear them like belittling and make the cultists belittling and making fun of the kobolds and bullying them. And just kind of telling them, like, you know the pecking order. You guys are at the bottom. We're at the top. So just cook the damn hen already.
how far away are we?
Like, I don't know, as far away as you guys kind of want to be. You rolled high enough on your stealths. What are you
for sure.
thinking?
Is there an
If we're
idea
running,
here?
if we're trying to sneak by them, we're not close enough for what I want to do. So
Okay.
we'll keep going.
Yeah. Just keep following the trail.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, who's in front?
I'm cool with being in the front.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably our scout. So
Yeah, I would be probably a little bit ahead even. Just a little
I
bit.
could go. I could
Here,
go second.
open
I have
up
an AC of
the-
18.
Open up the party sheet and actually position yourselves as you would.
Oh.
Go to order.
Rip the current formation.
Yeah. Oops. I need to open up party sheet. Clear formation. There we go.
Oh.
You could even be a square behind me if you wanted to. You don't have to be, because I would be a little bit of a scout. Yeah.
Yes, like
that-
you guys can choose, like, actually put yourselves where you want to be, because I can put this on a map if needed.
Oh, neat.
So, like, however far away you would want to be from March, I can make the distances.
I'm assuming that arrow is like moving forward.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
right is the farthest.
Okay. March, make a perception check.
Oof.
Okay. I'm going to March, make a dex save.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oof.
March,
Bye.
take 2d12 bludgeoning damage from falling rocks on the cliffs
Do you-
above.
Do you want to roll that for me? Because it's like I'm not.
Okay, I can roll it,
I'm
but
not
I
doing
can't
it.
target you with it because they
Sure.
didn't write in the effect.
Say 2d12 or 2d6.
Or 2d6. I don't
Ah, okay, that's not as bad. 2d12 is
Wait.
a lot more damage.
No, it is 2d12.
Oh, well,
I'm
then roll
wrong.
me the right damage. Let's go.
Yeah, I
Take me
will.
out in one shot.
13 damage. And
Rocks fall, someone dies.
rocks actually did fall in this case. And let me bring up the map. I'm going to bring up two maps. I'm going to show you the one that came with this adventure and then what we're using instead. This
This
is what
bodes
came
well.
This is what came with the adventure. But you're
Uh,
surrounded by rocky cliffs where these boulders just fell from.
Huh?
So
Makes
we're
no
gonna
sense.
use this. We're gonna use this instead.
Look it up.
I'll put these guys on the map. This and this. There. And party sheet so I can pull you guys on. Oh, good. It was actually. So here. It's a grid mode. Come on. You can be, let's see. Let's go like this. This will make it a little easier. And I don't know why, but it puts a boulder on the combat tracker.
That's
We'll say
on
here.
me.
It hits you. You kind of get out of the way a little bit.
Did I? I think I took the full brunt of it.
Yeah. But it doesn't squish you to death. And everybody roll initiative.
Oh,
Oops.
fighting a boulder?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Okay. No, boulder. Calm down.
A boulder.
So the NPCs they gave me don't have the weapons that
Darn.
Gosh darn.
that they're supposed to attack you with. Let me just double check this really quick because this doesn't. Oh, okay. No, they just want you to do it that way. Okay, that's fine. Sure. So. He misses. March.
Okay. I'm
just gonna put these guys onto grid squares.
gonna go into this tree. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm gonna hide.
Sure.
Oh wow.
Give me that stealth roll.
Any cultists?
It's missing. Why you gotta miss sometimes, game? There we go. Let's see. It's better. Let's go.
Okay. Is that all for March?
Yes, I would probably have first bonus action Zephyr Strike myself.
Okay, sure.
I don't provoke opportunity attacks for 1 minute, and once for the spell ends, I can have advantage on one attack.
Okay.
That's an effect. Oh, I can add that to myself. Look at that. Well, I don't want to add that because I get to choose. So, faster.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Oh, what? Dude.
What was it targeting?
It said it was targeting Koenig.
Whiffed.
Does 15 hit?
No, not even close.
Really? Your AC is 18?
Cleric,
Oh, yes,
chainmail, shield.
Yep.
Yeah, right. You're not just a sorcerer anymore. Okay.
I am going to cast sleep on the 4 on the left-hand side.
Okay.
Did this roll this properly the last time we did it?
It did, I think.
All I can do is apply the effect, so maybe
Yeah.
it won't.
Yep. We will.
No.
We'll figure it out.
You have to roll the. You just need to roll
Yeah,
the 48 manually. Yeah.
I like it this way better though because it marks them on my combat tracker for like who it's actually targeted, so I can go through and count the health that way. So I actually like it that you apply it first, and I'll just remove it. This is better.
Holy crap.
Not 50-48.
That's not correct. That's correct.
25. Okay, so that's gonna be. Okay. Did you target 4 people?
Yeah, I still have them targeted.
Okay, yeah, no, there is 4. So you get and it starts with lowest first, so
Boulder to sleep.
I'm just gonna put them as dead on the combat tracker for the 5 that went to sleep. Or the 3 that went to sleep. 7. No, you might get them all. No. The acolyte remains.
Okay, and I'm gonna move over here a little bit.
Okay.
Alright. Barnaby is going to spend a use of Wild Shape for his symbiotic entity.
Okay.
Because he's technically a Spore Druid, reflavored as Swarm. So he's going to get 8 temporary hit points. Not sure. Look at that. And he's going to use his action to cast, that was his action to Wild Shape. His bonus action to cast Shillelagh, powering up his quarterstaff, and then he's going to walk over to this guy. And that's it for now.
Okay.
My action and bonus action. But the bees are real angry. Like, all of these bees just suddenly came out of his...
It's no longer a drone.
Yeah. He's
It's
just
a
surrounded by
bug.
a swarm of bees now.
Okay. The acolyte casts Sanctuary on that cultist. And that's his turn.
It's the boulder's turn.
Oh shit!
The boulder moves 5 feet to the left. This guy will go. Here. And he will miss. This guy's turn.
Who's this?
The guy right beside you.
Oh, okay.
He was
whenever
attacking
he's-
Koenig. Does a 15 hit?
Okay, but the guy right
Yeah.
beside me, when he starts his turn, I can use my reaction to have my swarm sting him.
Okay, sure. Start there.
he'll take 1d6 necrotic damage. Or no, that's if I hit someone. Well, this is active. He takes my Hail of Spores damage twice while this is active.
Okay. Does a 15 hit you?
Hit me?
Yeah.
Nope, 18.
18 for you?
18,
Okay.
see, yep. Studded leather, I believe, and shield.
Okay.
Oh, scale and shield. Still.
Just remember, if you're holding a shield and a staff, you can't use somatic components. So just keep that in mind for any spells that require somatic components. I don't know if Druid has any, but just in case. He will... Well, that's his turn. He attacked. And this guy's turn. Let's see, that's... He takes out his crossbow and misses you. Zap.
Okay. So, fine mustache guy wasn't put to sleep, right?
Correct.
Alright. We are going to magic missile that guy
Okay.
and hope for the best. So, first one. Second one. And third one.
Okay. You got him.
Okay, so he's trying to heavy crossbow me. I don't like that. Me no likey that. I'm gonna run my 30 feet close to the sleeping ones as I can.
Okay.
And then I'll end my turn.
Okay.
I feel abandoned.
March.
I'm gonna go over here into this tree.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hide in this tree.
Okay. Okay.
And that's my turn.
He will attack at disadvantage. And miss. And zap again. Wait, did the veteran just not get a turn last time?
It uses its heavy crossbow.
Oh, right. Yeah, he just missed. He didn't move and missed. Right. What are you gonna do, Zap?
Oh, right, it re-rolled. Sorry, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to be so soon.
Yep.
Okay, well, who do I want to target now? Let's go for the other acolyte, I guess. With a chill touch.
Hit.
Ooh, okay, nice. So he takes 3 necrotic, and he gets disadvantage on stuff. One sec. No, sorry, that's undead.
He can't regain hit points.
Yeah, he can't regain hit points, so he'll get that status. Alright, and I'm just gonna move a little bit further away,
Okay.
and that'll be me.
Okay, don't forget to advance the turn. Crit.
Ooh.
Oh.
What?
Yep.
Okay, that's
Ooh.
his turn.
Yeah. So my bees are now gone. I will, I guess, just hit this guy with my staff then.
Okay.
Oh, I'm actually surprised I hit, considering I accidentally rolled without the shillelagh damage. Wait, what the hell? I thought I... Oh, okay, it doesn't show up whenever I have combat mode selected. Alright. I added a new weapon attack for shillelagh to my
Oh.
abilities
gone?
tab, but it wasn't showing whenever I had combat mode selected.
Ah.
So yeah, 6 magic bludgeoning damage done to this guy.
Okay. You
And
got
he's
him.
down?
Yep.
Alright, in that case, I will just... Is March still hiding right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll scoot behind this rock. Where the rest hopefully won't be able to see me, so I can try to get my swarm back up next turn. Yeah, my... Oh yeah, I should click next. Yeah, my power turns off if I lose those temp hit points, so...
He's going to try you again.
Oh, me?
No, the veteran's gonna shoot at Zap again.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a hit.
That hits. Okay.
Okay, that's what he will do. Panic.
Koenig's gonna feel a welling of energy that he's not overly familiar with. And he's gonna throw Healing Word at March.
You have to be able to see him.
It's here.
It's here. Okay, as long as it's only here, you're good, because he's like 26 hidden.
See within range.
Let's see.
He's too hidden.
He's too hidden.
Yes.
I'll leave him alone then and firebolt this dude.
Yeah, you'd have to use your action to find him. You got him.
What?
You had the wrong acolyte targeted.
Yeah,
Mine both
it's
said
wrong
dead.
one.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
already dead.
Oh, sorry, he's already dead. Yeah, I'll
I
put
can't
8
tell because
damage.
everything is on the on the map right now.
It's because one of them has healing and could bring them back up. 8 on that. Okay, he's still up. He's very, very damaged though.
Okay, I'm gonna move
He
behind
would
this
be in
rock.
critical. Okay, good. He had to take the 4 instead of the crit. And this acolyte will use Cure Wounds on himself.
The effect note says he can't regain hit points.
Oh, then he cannot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, I said not. It still let him. Oh, it's just a note. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a note.
Okay. Nice. And he will instead target one of his friends.
Cure wounds is touch.
What?
Cure wounds
none
is
of them
touch.
Oh, Cure Wounds is touch.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
won't be able to get close enough then. So then he will
Chill
just
touch.
cast Sacred Flame. Probably? I think that's his spell. What's the distance on that? 60. 45, 70, 95. He's gonna go. You fail the save. And take 5 damage. I'll take some of these guys off. He'll never get to touch some of these guys.
Not with that attitude.
So Barnaby, you're up.
Barnaby. All right. Well. So there's what, 4 of them left?
Yeah.
Alright. This guy here is critical. Barnaby will come out from behind the boulder. He will kind of like slip his
Okay.
quarterstaff into his belt, and he will cast Infestation targeting that guy.
Okay.
Just like a bunch of bees will come out of his sleeve.
Okay.
Oh, it's a save. Okay.
He fails.
Get wrecked.
You get him.
Get back here. Oh.
God damn, that boulder's fast.
Fastest boulder I've ever seen.
Firebolt at the veteran. Or not.
Yes. Okay. Veteran takes his aim and misses. March.
So if I attack this one, it can't see me, right? Right now.
Yeah.
So I would have advantage. Would I have advantage?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's surprised.
Whoa, holy shit, who put this rabbit here?
This 6-foot rabbit.
It's true. Oh, I never targeted. Sorry, that's 8 hit points.
Oh.
That's my bad.
Which one?
The one in front of him, like directly
Is
in
he
front.
Mangled Thumb or
Yeah.
Hardy?
The Hardy.
Hardy. Okay. He looks like he's like almost down on one knee. That did a lot of damage to him.
Okay, and then I'm gonna use my separate strike. I already applied it once to myself.
Well, that's spooky.
Can I take that effect away from myself?
I can take it away from you.
Take one of the two. I didn't realize. Is it automatically event? And I'm gonna
if you
attack the
click
guy to the right
on-
that's full health with my offhand.
Okay. If you click on like the person with like the 3 particles around them, it brings up like the toggle, like toggling it, and you can delete ones that you put on yourself.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's
Hit.
just the D6, which I can't. I need to actually switch modifier to nothing. Okay, there we go. And then it's a D8 on top of this. Yeah, because of the force damage.
Got him.
Sweet. So I don't provoke opportunity attacks. I have 30 extra feet of movement this turn, so that leaves me at 55. It's 45. That's 55.
Wait. Did you hit yourself with that?
Yes. Yes, I did. Excuse me. I'm at 13. The other one took 8 as well.
Okay.
I targeted myself back. So I got my health back to normal.
I was looking and
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
that shouldn't kill
Take
him.
off unconscious and prone.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Thank you. I can do that. X. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna move back.
Okay.
Clean up the...
Do you take opportunity attacks with
Nope.
that?
Not when Zephyr strikes up.
Okay.
Alright, ask me then. Turn.
He misses zap.
Alright, time to do some cleanup duty. Magic missile. First missile, we'll go with Mangled Thumb.
Got him.
Second missile, we'll go at Hardy.
Got
And
him.
finally, at Boulder. No, at Veteran. Alright. And then, yeah, I'm good, I think.
I forgot to add when March Hare attacked the first time, the sword goes into him and he's like, that's not my spoon.
Hits.
Do I have like light cover or anything from this boulder?
No, this boulder gives cover.
Oh,
Oh, music dying for anybody else?
I hear it.
Okay, it's back.
We'll be in a second when we kill this guy.
Okay. So he will end his turn. There's also when you guys do get cover, the plus minus button in the top right, you can add cover to things.
Plus minus button in the top right.
modifiers. Okay. And I probably would have been getting closer to them if I'd known that I wasn't actually behind anything here. Yeah, whenever I said before that I like scooped behind the boulder, I figured I was like out of the way and harder to
okay.
hit.
So that, and then boulder, and then march.
I'll pull out my longbow. I know he has cover, but might as well give it a shot.
Miss.
That is all. Well, you know what? I'm gonna move over to. How tall is this cliff?
The cliff goes up like 15 feet. It's difficult terrain. As the book just says to not count it as movement and just call it difficult terrain.
Yeah. And I'll just go up to it in this tree
Okay.
for now. A little movement over there, just kind of staring at the foot of it. Or I guess,
Okay.
yeah, no, that's good.
Okay. I'll just try and chill touch.
Crit.
Let's go.
Let's go. And he can't regain hit points. That's it.
Barnaby.
All right. Well, so I'm not getting any benefit from Boulder. 5:30. Start advancing on him. And we'll throw more bees.
He fails. Okay.
And with my object interaction, I'll draw my quarterstaff again.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I won't move there yet. Yeah, I will. So I'm assuming I can't do anything through the boulder here.
He's got 3/4 cover, so he has a +5 to AC.
Oh, so that's useless against spells.
No, AC
Saving
counts
throw
against spell
spells.
attack, yeah.
A spell attack it would affect.
So how does it affect the spell attack?
My AC is 5 higher than it
Spell,
would be.
spell
if-
attack.
What?
Like a spell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
a
a
spell
spell
attack
attack, you're
does
going to
go
roll a
against
d20
AC.
against my AC, and a saving throw would not be effective.
Okay, so I'm gonna see what this does when I cast Firebolt on him.
Firebolt's going to cause him to roll a d20, which would be subject to the +5 AC.
Okay.
You hit him anyway.
Nice. Get him. We really are doing Wicker Man stuff here, setting them on fire and attacking them with bees.
Yeah.
Damn,
Okay, veteran's turn.
that really is.
It's okay, I'm-
reaction. He's gonna get hit by bees.
Okay.
I'm cooling him down every time we light him on fire. Just
Yeah.
fine.
That's it.
Okay. He pulls out his swords.
Oh, hold up. Reaction to deal 1d4 necrotic damage unless it succeeds a con save. Oh. Okay, hold up. You need to actually make a con save, and it doesn't have the right
So-
DC.
Is that a reaction?
Yeah, it's my reaction to
Okay, so
use that.
okay.
For some reason, it's saying DC 10 instead of 14, though, even though it says it uses your spell DC. Oh, maybe that's no.
Your spell DC is 8 plus your spell casting modifier
Plus proficiency.
plus proficiency. So yeah,
His
you
DC
should
is-
not be at 10. Unless it's just a DC 10.
he succeeds, just take that 3 damage off him.
Okay, he fails.
Okay, alright. So then, yeah, that 3 damage will stick then.
Okay. And he will pass.
Attack me 3 times?
Yes, he did. Twice with a long sword and once with a short sword.
Oh, shit.
Zap.
Yeah, we're going to. I don't think I can get close enough. Yeah, I guess. Oh wait, what about this though? No, okay, can't get close enough for that. All right, yeah, we're just gonna do another chill touch because that's all I'm in range for. Okay. And then I'm gonna move in 30 feet. And pass.
March.
Gonna move 30 feet. Gonna hit him with a longbow.
Hit.
And that is all.
Barnaby.
Alright. Gonna hit him with the shillelagh. Or not. That's all I can do.
Ain't it?
Attack the boulder.
I see that and I'm like, what? What? Why?
Miss. March.
Gonna go here. I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay.
That's all I'm in range for.
19. And 1.
Okay.
Alright, reaction. Because he starts his base within my swarm. Or starts his turn, rather.
He succeeds.
Okay.
Does anything happen to him if he succeeds? Okay.
I waste my reaction. That happens.
Miss. Misses. Misses. He misses all 3 of his attacks on both of you and Kanik.
Oh my god, again?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do my movement first. Yeah, right there's good. Okay. If a creature is pushed 5 feet from an ally, does that ally get an opportunity
No,
attack?
it has to
No.
be something like Dissonant Whispers that actually forces it to use its movement.
You have to willfully use, or not willfully, but you have to expend your own movement to provoke an opportunity attack. So picking up Kanik and running away also doesn't provoke an opportunity attack.
Okay,
Because
so
he's
if
not
I used,
expending his movement.
so if I used Gust to shove 5 feet, it wouldn't work. Okay.
Correct.
Also, I've already used my reaction, so only Kanik would get the swing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. In that case,
I don't think he'd be able to shove him in such a way that both of you would get one anyway.
No, it would only be Kanik who could have. All right. So I think I'm gonna try this then. Well, he probably has good strength. I'll still try it. I'm gonna lightning lure.
He fails.
Okay. So on a failure, he is pulled 10 feet in a straight line towards me, and then takes 1d8 lightning damage if within 5 feet of me. Okay. And then I think that's it.
Okay. Barnaby.
All right. Come in and try to shillelagh him again, I guess.
Hit.
That's all I got.
March.
I'm gonna move in and do the two things, the two attacks with the short swords.
This poor veteran at the end.
Is that 15? He doesn't have half cover anymore. Is that normal?
He does. It doesn't hit.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he never had the half cover in the
Oh,
game.
you were
I
just
had to
calculating?
calculate- Yeah.
And
Right.
then I'm gonna move back here because I can, without provoking.
The
we're
only
not-
time he got hit was a crit, and that's always a hit.
Gotcha.
And we're not playing with flanking rules, correct?
No. So he's going to
He's
start
gonna
off with a hit
Potentially
here.
take some necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't.
I don't
know why it gave him.
know
Okay.
what happened.
Yeah.
No, it did a con save at the same time.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I rolled a
so-
con save on him because he started his turn next to
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
So he failed that con save.
So he never
and-
even gets the attack off to start with.
He got stung.
And as the bees kind of work their way on him, as he's slowly dying and gasping for air from the toxins that are being injected into his body from the bees, he says, "You'll never stop them." As he falls to the ground and dies. Not the bees may become a thing, but it has to be a thing first.
You said
Yeah.
B.
That 1 point of damage was clutch.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Just gonna
All
just
right.
walk up to
Barnaby
him.
wants to retrieve all his bees.
Okay, sure.
You need to like count them as ammo because
This-
however many stung him are no longer useful.
There's some over here, and there's some over here.
Gonna rip off a piece of cloth, put it on him, be like, "And a very happy on birthday to you."
Okay. Nice.
Whoa.
We were actually watching that this morning.
Nice. Which one?
The Disney one.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
The-
Johnny Depp.
The only
Pretty
thing of
classic.
mention for
Classic.
loots would be there'd be 6 cultist outfits, and you'd be able to collect 6 spears off the bodies of the cultist. Although 3 of them are still sleeping. You never really dealt with them.
Gotta get answers. Half the reason we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not kobold cultists, right? Like they're actually human,
Yeah, they're
humanoid.
they're
Okay.
human cultists.
Yeah, let's tie the fuck up.
Do we need all 3?
We should leave at least 2.
2 it is. 2?
2.
2.
Can we flavor it that I use my lightning lore to pull them down to us off the
If
edge
you
of the
deal
cliff.
damage, it would wake them up.
It only deals damage if they land within 5 feet of me.
Well then,
Well, they'll probably take damage falling down the cliffside 15 feet, though.
That's fine. We'll just tie them up. We outnumber them. We're gonna wake them up one at a time.
Okay. For the sake of time, knowing that you guys can handle them, you just pull them down with your thunder stuff, and
Yeah.
you tie them
Sick.
up. However many you want to tie up, you tie up.
like you say, just two, just two.
Yeah. We'll kill one of them.
Oh yeah, I'll kill one. The second that you say yes to just two, I just go over and I double stab one.
You get them.
He didn't need those eyes anyway.
Where
They're
we're
going to be out
going,
for 2 hours.
need eyes to see.
Sleep
No.
has an end time because they're not technically unconscious.
How
They
long
wake
is
up
it?
at the end of the spell.
1 minute.
1 minute. So yeah, pretty quick. I assume you guys would do this right after.
Yeah.
So you'd get them tied up, and then they would wake up, and one would be dead. Because yeah, they didn't die; they got sleeped. So they'll be up in a minute, and they wake up. Ugh. And they kind of look around, and they see the bodies of their dead friends. And they just kind of go silent and stone-faced as you kind of become aware of their waking.
We had a little nap, did we?
Yeah, sleep magic's not fair.
Listen,
Couldn't
Be
fight us like
thankful.
real adventurers.
be thankful that you were hit by it. Because otherwise you'd be like the rest of them there.
Also,
Barnaby kinda
dragon's
like-
not fair.
And it's not too late for that either.
Barnaby kind of like crouches down and like lets some of his bees come out, and he says, "There are worse kinds of magic."
One of you make an intimidation check with advantage for the other helping.
Yeah.
I do not have proficiency or anything like that.
I'm not good.
I don't either,
Proficient in
but
intimidation.
let's let Koenig do it because he started.
Do it. Guidance yourself.
And you get help from us.
See? Koenig is very intimidating.
Okay. He actually is very intimidating. And they say, "What do you want to know?"
We want to know whatever you know. Where are the rest of your band headed?
Back to camp, most likely.
Where's camp?
They look at the trail on the ground. They don't really say anything.
Listen, the only way you're getting out of here is if you tell us everything. You know that, right?
Look, okay, we're new. We're initiates.
Why'd
All
you
we
go to
really
Greenest?
know is what was that?
Why'd you go to Greenest?
We were ordered to go there and take as much as we could.
Just stuff
who?
in general?
Yeah.
Who made the order?
One of the leaders.
Who
Do you know this person's
made
name?
the order?
One of our leaders. We don't ask questions, we do.
You
But you're-
surely know your leader's name.
There's more than one of them.
The one that made the order, dipshit.
Yeah, there's more than one. We don't know which one did.
All right, name all your leaders now.
And they say, well, there's Resmir and Frulum and Langded Rosa.
Any of them dragonborn? Bluish? Purplish?
Yeah,
Which one's that?
that would be Langded Rosa Cyanrath.
I just turned to Kanik. He's the one who beat you up.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm sorry, I got a pretty good look. We came in at the end of that.
You got such a good look. You got his name.
Well, no, they just said his name, and they said it was a bluish purple dragonborn.
There were a lot of Arg monsters.
Yep. There were a lot of monsters, but that fits the description pretty well. You know what? Pull out a knife. Here's a knife for your troubles. Your
Who
kitchen
gets the
It's
knife?
a butter knife. It's a
You.
butter knife.
For you, Kanik.
Yeah.
Okay. So the butter knife is going into one of the cultist thighs.
Oh, you're not gonna keep it?
I didn't say I wasn't going to keep it. I'm just saying that's what it's doing right now.
Okay.
Uh,
Ah! As he cries out in pain.
So roughly how far away is camp? And what's the layout of the camp like? Are there any protections on it?
And they just say, we'll never give up.
I slightly twist that knife.
And even though he seems to be in an immense amount of pain, his resolve doesn't waver, and he says, you can kill me if you want. Do you have any idea how many initiates die in basic training?
Gonna be shakes his head and he says, "Do you have any idea what it's like to be full of bees?"
I can't say that I do. It sounds terrible.
Barnaby says, "I'll show you," and he casts infestation on the guy.
Okay. And
And then he, Oh.
infestation away.
yeah. I think I'll probably just roll damage here.
I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
grab my butter knife and just
Yeah.
clean it off on his clothes.
And
oh, you had the veteran targeted. Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like the bees just like, kind of like swarm into his mouth and nose,
and
and he had. Oh yeah, keep going.
he's screaming as the bees enter the various orifices of his face holes, and but
And
he looks like he's willing to die before he tells you any more.
okay. Barnaby turns to the other guy and he asks, "What
Mhm.
about you?"
And he doesn't even open his mouth. He's staring at the other guy for like, you've already said too much, you fool. As he looks at his cultist co-worker, he says, serves you right, you filthy traitor. And he kind of lifts his neck up as if he assumes one of you is going to slice his throat. He presents.
Barnaby turns to the others and he says, "I suggest we take him with us, and when we find their camp, we tell them he led us."
Take one, take two, take both.
He
I
kinda,
say we
looks at
kill
the
the
guy being
talker.
Eaten by bees. And he says one will probably be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a crit?
Oh,
Pick him up.
Do you want to roll damage?
Sure. Let's just see it. It's crit.
That's not that much.
Ow.
I can go again.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Go again.
Sure. Oh, I need to roll that.
They didn't have a lot of health, but Barnaby.
They have more than
only had
that.
one.
That didn't hit.
I mean, you would have hit. You
Sure.
just didn't crit.
Just roll the damage again. Got it.
Yeah.
Still not a lot. It's 4.
Holy crap.
He's taken a severe beating.
I'll go again.
But yeah, go again. Let's see how bad you got to actually beat this guy. They seem to take quite a beating.
You're like
You
purposefully
finally
like,
get him.
you're like purposely making it painful. That's all.
And after the third hit, looks down. Oh, misplaced my spoon again. Puts the sword away. Takes out the spoon. Looks at the dead corpse. A little bit late. Puts the spoon back.
So to be clear, we're taking the one who won't talk
Yeah.
with us. Yeah. Okay.
Gonna tell them he led us there.
Yeah, I like that.
Probably take some disguises, some robes. Lots of those.
Sure.
How many
And-
cultists
Good
have we
idea.
seen with a beekeeper's hat?
None. But he looks at you and he says, "You don't think I'll sell you out the second we get there?"
What do
Barnaby
you mean
says,
sell us out?
You're
We're
coming to
bringing you
my
back
home.
to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, and telling them you led us there.
I'm dead anyway. At this point, if I go back, I'm dead.
And what harm is there to tell us? We might let you live.
I'm looking for favor in the next life at this point.
He's not going to talk.
Probably not.
I shan't piss off my god.
I shan't.
I have a
Jacob?
feeling we'll be meeting quite soon.
We don't have to take him. We could just kill him
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, it was mostly a bluff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to cart this guy around with us.
Mind if I handle
Dude,
this
dude.
one?
Sure.
I have a little bit of
Remember to use your fork.
venting to do.
By all means.
So I'm just gonna, because I can do this all day if I have to. So I'm basically just gonna like RP it that I use lightning lure on him, and I just slam him back and forth with
So why don't
these
you just roll
lightning
damage a
whips.
whole bunch of times and let's just see how long it takes. See how long it actually takes him to die. You actually got him in 2. It only took 2 slaps.
I'll slap him 2 more times afterwards.
Sure. You continue to overkill him,
Yeah,
and
and then I release it.
he is dead. And that brings us to 10:30, where we will have our quick 3 to 5 minute break to get a drink or whatever.
15-minute
we
break.
need.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, you guys aren't unionized. Get back here. 15 minutes.
Oof. That hurts.
Is it time for
yes.
halftime yet?
Ah. How's that game actually
Hip
going?
slips.
My wife, who doesn't watch football, apparently says it was quite close, but that was like an hour ago.
Wow. Eagles are actually... It's close. Eagles were favored to win by a lot. They're winning 6 points.
Okay, I'm gonna BRB now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get some water.
Oh, it was Rihanna this year. Yeah, I don't care at all. Welcome.
You guys made the right call.
Eh. What?
Kill him.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna try and watch the halftime show, and then I saw it was Rihanna, and I was instantly like, "Oh, never mind, I don't care."
But yeah, that's where Mr. Movie is.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were coming up on it, like, basically, once you said you were going from the Honda past Pope, I immediately pictured that place, and then you, like, were getting close, I was like, okay, it's gotta be. And then, yeah, the reveal was like, oh, I do know that place. Okay. 'Cause my aunt used to live on that road, so when I was a kid, I would visit her, and then, like, occasionally we'd go in there, but I didn't know what it was called or anything. Like, I was really little then, so yeah, I didn't even know it rented movies or anything, or remembered that anyway.
The old Mr. Movie in St. Elders.
Oh.
It's now like some antique store, and they have like the most fucking Wish.com banner on the building that just says the Futz store, F-U-T-Z. I wonder if I can text you the video. It's too big to put in Discord because I kind of just had to take a video while I was driving by, so I was like not looking at the video while I was
Yeah.
driving, and I started the video a bit early.
Alright, what's your guys' opinion on who would win a fight? Titan from Attack on Titan, or like a worker class Saiyan in grade 8?
I haven't seen much of Attack on Titan, so I don't really know.
I'd
I'm
say
gonna
Abe, probably just because it'd be like stronger and tougher in general. But then, I guess if it
This-
didn't know to attack the back of the neck, it probably
Yeah,
would
that's-
never actually kill the Titan.
that's where I'm at. I'm like, if they know the Titan's weakness, then ape all the way. Like, not even close. If they don't know the Titan's weakness, it's kind of down to luck on whether or not they crush the nape.
Yeah.
Now, if we modify that to like the attack Titan, right? So like human mind powering a Titan versus a worker class Saiyan, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like Eren Yeager versus a worker class Saiyan, I think Eren Yeager probably would just win.
Yeah.
But yeah. But then you put him up against someone who's not a worker class Saiyan, I think like it's just not even a contest. I think you just straight lose.
Have you
Yep.
have you seen any of Pokemon Infinite Fusion yet, Logan?
Infinite Fusion. Yeah, that's the.
I think
It's not the ROM hack, but it's the yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
fan
I've
game.
seen it. Seen it a few times now. Justin shared it recently, but I'd seen it before that too.
I've been playing
Yeah.
it the last few days.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it looked good.
Um,
Some
Marowak
of it
plus
looked janky.
Caesar is disgusting.
Oh, probably.
Bone Meringue with Technician is
Yep.
an absolutely busted combo.
You get both hits at the boosted power.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
You know what I'd like to see? Caesar plus from the new game, Mousehold. And use Population Bomb with Technician.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have very many new Pokemon in there. I think they have like all of Gen 1, all of Gen 2, some of Gen 3, and then just like a few picked and chosen from later ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to play it at some point. It looked fun.
Okay,
That's
it
neat.
looks like everybody's back now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So,
does anybody
oh,
need
go ahead.
healing before we move on?
I'm a little bit in pain. Like a lot bit in pain.
We should fix that.
Either of these heal multiple people, or is that only at higher levels?
I'll use a hit die, I guess.
Well, I was just thinking of like healing word and cure.
Well, yeah, I
Wounds.
guess if we're short resting, we can save that
Yeah.
and just use hit die.
Yeah, like I'm not injured enough to waste anything big
Well,
on
I'm
it.
at like almost half health, so
Yeah.
I could also use a hit die.
okay, I will give you guys a short rest.
What's the deal with
Yeah.
the berry? Restores a hit point. Okay. I'm also going to. I am going to spend one spell on Goodberry, and then that's 10 hit points that we can kind of share out.
Yeah, they're good for a while, aren't they?
24
Like, as long
hours.
as a berry. No, 24 hours. Still long enough.
Yeah, my one hit die helped me, so I'm good.
Yeah, and I'll eat 3 of the berries and have 7 left.
And I'll eat 2.
Yeah, I'll have 5 left.
Greedy hair. He didn't offer them.
I needed them though.
Yeah. Give him a spoon in trade.
No, never a spoon. He gets a fork.
Never a spoon. Okay.
No, wait a minute. He gets a saucer.
Oh,
Ooh, saucer's good.
brew some tea with honey.
I didn't actually take the Dungeoneering or Explorers pack. I just took various different tea party wear.
Yeah.
Oh my god. My Steam's friend list is nothing but Hogwarts Legacy.
Yup.
Yeah.
Welcome
I was
to new game.
I was gifted it for my birthday, so now I'm obligated to try it. I'm just not
It's really good.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but the gameplay seems
I've
good.
heard that
so-
even if you're not a big Harry Potter fan, it's still really good.
Yeah, I did the intro part. Like I got sorted,
Yeah.
and then I shut it off, take a break. But
It's fun.
yeah,
I've
it seems like
enjoyed
it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to share the next map with you guys. And this is both the battle map and the view map.
I didn't realize I get all of my wild shapes back on a short or long rest. So I will
Oh, it
back-
is
Oh, well, this
big
is-
map. Oh, baby.
Welcome to
boy.
the Raider camp.
Are these like tents?
I think
Yes.
so.
We can see.
So the first tent you can see, you can be further away than this if you want, but you guys right now are about 100 feet away from the tent. And it looks to be like some kind of guard tower with a couple of kobolds manning it.
So, our mission was information. The location of this raider camp be enough?
He would have said he wants specifics.
Where
he
it
wants-
is, how many the enemies there are, and how many prisoners.
So like you're gonna have to go in there and find the prisoners, and I'm sure he'd appreciate any bit of layout you can give him. But
Interesting.
you would first have to find the prisoners, and there's one person who's afraid that Leosin might be captured in here as well.
Interesting. This seems like a death trap. I am all for it.
Well,
And I am scouting. No matter what the role was, I was gonna scout.
I can
Okay.
help you get up there.
Oh, I didn't say anything again.
Okay. So I've
I'm
got-
just gone.
I've got the jump spell.
What do my Harangon eyes see?
So when you get up a bit closer, you see that it's a relatively large guard tower at the entrance. It's about 20 feet high, made from rough timber. Looks like it's kind of put together with some rope that's not in great shape. And there's a few lookouts in them. You see 2 guards as well as the 2 kobolds in that tower.
You said 20 feet off the ground?
Yeah.
Oh. Can I make out anything else as far as like the tents that are nearby it or anything like that?
So you would know that the front part, it looks like there's, oh geez, you would see, you can't count how many people you see in this camp.
Gotcha.
Mainly kobolds near the front, but you can't even count the number of kobolds you see. You'd be there for a while.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the party at that point, pop up in the center. Tell them everything I just heard. Saw and heard.
Right?
A lot of guys.
A lot of guys.
Try and
So this is
disguise yourself, Sam.
surrounded.
Yeah.
This camp is like surrounded, right? Like,
Yeah, like the top, like where can you guys see? Let me click on. Let me see.
Wait,
like
so
I
it's
can
like
kind of
cliff
see that
walls.
looks like cliffs. Yeah.
Yeah, so those cliffs go up like 150 feet, and there's ladders inside the camp that you guys can't see right now to get up them.
Okay.
But they're like 150 feet in the air.
Are there any guards we can discern from here that are
If
up
you-
on those
so-
walls?
This map's actually smart enough that if you saw them, you could see them. So
Oh,
I won't
okay.
tell you if there's any up there. Your vision should guide you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, see how there's that shadow along the top?
Yeah.
That's actually a wall of sorts.
Okay.
So some of
Okay.
your vision, because you're too close, is blurred out, kind of thing.
What's all this greenery? Is it like legit trees or?
Some of it's kind of swampy, beaten down areas. Some of it's little tiny brush. It's not really trees. It's kind of like shrubs. They grow to about
Shrubs.
4 to 6 feet tall. You can see way, way, way at the back. There's a cave.
Okay.
What day is it?
What day is it?
What time of day is it?
Oh, so it was sunrise when you guys left, and you traveled for a few hours. So it's, let's say, around noonish.
Okay. I mean, we could disguise ourselves. Try to.
You could try.
Yeah.
Could try without the. Yeah, try with the disguise.
See, I was hoping that was like foresty. See if we could like move around the edge and like through. Because if there's no guards up on the wall
Yeah.
and they're
Like,
big enough, maybe we could use it as
I
path to
think,
travel.
considering there were some cultist uniforms in the loot we got,
True.
it's expected that we're gonna have to.
I think that's an option. We can disguise. We can go. Act cultist like. Talk about dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to disguise.
Yep. Let's do that.
Disguise makes sense.
Okay, so you guys all put on one of the black leather cloaks that you pulled off of the cultists earlier on.
These cloaks have hoods.
Yep.
All right. Barnaby will like turn around while he takes off his beekeeper's hat, and then he'll like pull the hood up and like far down.
Yeah, like a death hood kind of thing.
Yeah. Kind of hiding his face.
Sure. You guys do that no problem.
Is there any way that I could see if I could have swung around fast enough? Because I'm just curious. March Hare's a little bit curious.
Yeah.
See why Barnaby turned away.
Let's see.
If there was a check or anything.
Barnaby would get a
Test me.
contested check of sorts.
Not great.
Okay, so sleight of hand against what? Acrobatics?
Probably perception.
Perception? Sure. They're both the same.
All right. He looks not great. Ill of sorts and swarming with bees.
Have I given Barnaby anything yet? Did I give you the saucer? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back up. I'm just gonna be like, bees. Bees are good. Bees could use a teacup. Give you a teacup. Don't worry. I won't tell anyone. You're good. And see, and I try and do a trick where I pull a spoon out of my ear. I have these inside me. So don't worry. And I just hop on off.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, at level 6, Spore Druid, you get the ability to like make zombies if you kill things with magic. So I'm kind of thinking like something similar to that is going on with Barnaby.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. 6-foot rabbit hopping away in cultist garb is fine. I'm not suspicious.
You know, one of them hops, one of them buzzes. They're just the new guys. Don't worry about it. One of them's kind of short.
They all got something wrong with them.
Yeah.
So, you guys, I assume, approach in your garb.
Yeah, I don't think we should be sneaking if we're in garb, because then if we get caught sneaking around in cultist garb, that's very suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, we're going disguise. We're going. Yeah, exactly. If we're gonna disguise, we're gonna use it. So yeah, we'll walk right up, I guess.
Okay. Everybody make a charisma check.
That's flat charisma?
Yeah.
Ugh, this ain't gonna go good.
We're done for.
Zap roll the save.
It would be the same.
It's the same, but yeah.
Okay, so you guys approach. I don't know if I can move all of you at once, but you wouldn't be questioned at the gate.
That was a gate.
Okay.
Or the guard tower.
Yeah.
Not so much gate, but the entrance to the place. You wouldn't be questioned.
Okay. Keep on walking.
Keep
Follow
on
we-
walking.
See what
Do we
see.
notice anything now that we're in the camp? Like Is there anything new
Do
to
you want us to
observe? or-
move our tokens with the whole moving through?
Yeah, can we
Maybe
move
just-
as a party?
Just move one token, and I'll bring you guys over if something interesting happens.
Sure.
Unless you guys can't see, can you guys see the whole encampment, or just where you are?
We can see the whole encampment.
Okay, so yeah, just move one token to keep track of like where like the party is, and that's good enough.
Okay.
So you guys see people walking around doing various tasks. Some people are cooking, some people are, bringing some loot back and forth. Some people are just going back to their tents for the night or have a sleep so they can do something later. They were up all night, so for them, I guess this would be sleeping during the day.
What kind of makeup are we seeing? Like kobold to human to dragonkin to whatever ratio? Like, is it mostly all humanoid?
There's a lot more kobolds than humans, but there's a lot of humans too.
Okay.
Think of it like the humans are higher ranking, so there's fewer of them, but that doesn't mean.
Okay. So,
Did anybody speak Kobold? Can we like organize a revolt?
I speak. No.
No.
I do not. Okay.
Kobold,
there's a bunch of
do kobolds
kobolds.
speak their own language? Like, have I heard
Probably
them
just
speaking their own
speak-
language?
Dragonkin, don't they?
They probably
Yeah,
speak
they
Draconic.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely. I doubt they have their own, but let's see what they speak.
Because I speak Draconic.
They speak Common and Draconic.
So there's more kobolds than humans. Roughly how many people are we looking at? Like, that's one of the things we need to find out, right?
Many
Countless.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Many hundreds. Oh,
Like,
God.
just like March Hare doesn't know, but the players would know that March Hare saw at least 100.
Okay.
And we're all up here at this point, so it's like all of us are seeing
Yeah.
it right now.
You're all there. Yeah.
Okay.
This is fine.
I imagine we're slowly moving forward, as to not just like sit in the middle of the camp and draw suspicion.
And as you're walking
Sure.
around, the other humanoid figures that are wearing the leather cloaks, one of them looks at you and says, "Welcome to the camp of the Cult of the Dragon. Praise Tiamat's glory."
I would
Yes,
respond in kind.
Praise Tiamat's
Praise
glory.
Tiamat.
And as you get a bit closer in, you realize that not everyone's wearing the robes. Some of them look like they might just be like run-of-the-mill sellswords.
Okay.
As you get to here, you kind of realize that you're getting to some kind of a kobold encampment where they don't really have big tents and stuff. This is kind of like overflow kobold territory, where they're just kind of all sitting around with their spears at the ready in case they need to move out. Not at you, just kind of like sitting down on various like logs or rocks, just, hands on their spears, ready to go kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is that the camp that's to the north or to the south of us that we're at right now? Which one were you talking about? Because looks like there's two camps.
Yeah. So like it's both.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of kobolds.
I'll just say good day to one in Draconic.
And one of them
Praise Tiamat.
he looks surprised, but not in like a shocked way, more like a, "Oh my god, speaks my language." He's like, "Hello, praise to Tiamat." Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to keep moving though. I mean, I'm glad that you can talk to me, but like most people don't.
No, I thought that. I'm gonna keep going on It's fine. Hopefully things get better though.
I wouldn't want you to get
maybe.
in trouble because you're like the nicest. You talk to me, so you're now the nicest person I've ever met. So
Yeah, no, I don't want you to get in trouble either by talking to me, because that'd be bad for both of us, I think.
humans typically yell at us.
Do you want me? Should I yell?
Yeah, say something mean
Okay.
in common.
In common,
Yeah.
I insult
most
him in
people here
deep
can't
speech by accident.
And says, yeah, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh,
I
my
I
bad.
wouldn't do that too much. I don't know if anybody speaks deep speak here.
It's just slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. I'm just gonna get going. I don't really feel like insulting you. That seems kind of bad. It's not right now. Saving him for later.
Yeah, you think of some good ones.
You gotta rack
It's
up those good ones.
It's gotta feel real. I'm not a good actor.
I'm gonna try
it's
one
gotta-
more time, and I'm gonna say
I'd
another insult. This time in Celestial.
Look, I'm trying my best, but I'm a really bad actor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking then. Have a terrible day. Is that right? Is that good?
Yeah, see, he's the terrible actor.
Sure. And yeah, I'd walk away.
Okay.
So it's a whole bunch of people hustling, bustling. You said not all of them look like cultists, right?
Yeah, some of them look like sellswords, just like random roguish, fighterish.
Does anybody kind of seem to be looking in my direction?
No more
the
than
moment?
any other direction. No.
Okay, I'm gonna slip the robes off and like tuck them away in my backpack.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot easier to fit in as a regular person. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just gonna take off my stuff and kind of walk around.
Is it like, so there are humanoid races, right? It's not just humans and kobolds?
Yeah, there's some other humanoid races among the sellswords, not wearing robes.
So I wouldn't like super stand out not wearing a robe.
You wouldn't super stand out if you had your hood up. You'd stand out a little bit more without your hood up because it's mostly only humans wearing robes.
No, well, like what if I did the same thing that Zab just did?
Oh yeah,
Followed
no,
his
you
lead.
wouldn't.
I wouldn't like
yeah,
stand
there-
out because I'm a
no.
Herringon. I would just be like
no,
a sellsword.
there's other races here.
Sure. I will specifically take off my robes and make sure that my swords are presented because they're on sale.
Are there any other beekeepers?
None that you recognize.
Heck.
Maybe they do the cult stuff on the weekend and they do the beekeeping during the week, but you don't seem to see any beekeepers. None that you can tell by looking at them.
Barnaby's just gonna keep the cult robes on.
So, what do most people seem to be doing right now? Like, are they all just wandering?
Most of them are just kind of wandering. It looks like they just came back from whatever they were doing, so they're kind of packing it in for the day at around noon. They like to do their stuff at night.
Okay. Are there any? I know it's like a raiders camp, so probably not. But does it look like there's any shops?
No, none.
No shops at all. Okay. No pop-up shops or anything.
Is
No.
the raider part farther down?
Food.
Since I imagine we went past the kobold part, like here, or is that too far?
This is all considered the raiders' camp. Like they were.
No,
raided
sorry,
by
I mean like the
kobolds and
sellsword, like
people.
the non-kobold section.
The sellswords are a subsection of the humans, so like there's still like a lot of them, but like for every 100 kobolds you'd see like 40 humans, and the sellswords would be a subsection of those humans
Would
because
it
that would
be
include the
easier
cultists.
for you to move my token, like
Here,
Hmm.
there.
to keep on moving to like a certain spot, like where you're can you move it to where you're describing things? Because I don't know where things are.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of everywhere. There are
Okay.
thousands, like hundreds and thousands of people here. This is a big encampment.
Are there any places where people are sharing food and drink? Like that's kind of
So,
what
like,
I'm.
where
getting
you
at. I
guys
want
are
to
now,
talk to people.
Kobolds will be doing that on the outskirts of where you're standing now. Down here, you would see people doing that as humanoids.
Yeah, like I'm looking for a gathering of sellswords where they're like chatting, like they're actively eating, drinking, chatting, maybe celebrating. Like
Okay.
that's what I want to find because I want to talk to people, but it needs to be as inconspicuous as possible, right? So I want it to be high numbers.
They're good. That's where they are, right? Mostly. That's where the arrows were, at least. Yeah, Cal, that's great.
Did we lose the DM?
I think so.
I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's see if it'll put this on the map. I don't know if it will. Oh God, they should not make encounters like this. Where did it put them?
On the cliff
Not-
somewhere, probably.
Nope. They're not on this map. It just added all of them to the combat tracker.
Wait, just lagged. There we go.
Delete from tracker all foes. It added like all of them to the combat tracker and none of them to the map, even though it's supposed to be a triggered thing. There's 15 bandits, 45 cultists, and 20 guards at this settlement area.
okay.
But they're chatting and they're doing the
Yeah.
sellsword thing. At least the bandits
Yeah.
are, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of point the group in that direction and say maybe we can talk to them. Any
You could try.
Here.
any
Could,
Yeah.
any
could
objections or
talk. Not much of a talker personally, but we could talk. Could talk.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
Someone
two of us
talk
need to
to
stay in
someone first.
robes, and two of us can go.
Sure. You guys can talk to cultists. We can talk to swords.
Yeah, that could work. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like
Let's-
to just kind of walk in.
Let's do the cultist two people first. Who's gonna talk to cultist?
I'd like to see, similar to Zap, I'd like to see if there are any like cultists sitting around a fire.
Yep.
Anywhere? Okay. Barnaby will start there. He will go and kind of like approach their fire. And he'll say, "Praise Tiamat, brothers. Do you mind if I join you at your fire?"
And
Kind of thing.
they kind of look at you, and they say, "You new here?"
He says, "We've just joined prior to Greenest."
Ah, what a lovely siege that was.
Yes, the
And-
fires burned brightly.
As they will again and again until we resurrect Tiamat.
So Barnaby will kind of like sit down at the fire with them. He'll pull out his kind of like hermit's kit and like pull out like a teapot. Gonna
Mhm.
start filling it with some like wild flowers and a bit of honey and put it on to brew.
Nice.
You have a teacup
And,
and a saucer for that.
Yeah, he has a saucer for that now.
And the teacup. You got both. I gave you a teacup when I saw your face.
Did you read the note when I put the teacup on it?
Oh, no. There's a
I-
note. Teacup and saucer.
Is there a note that you can
No.
see?
It just says
Okay,
type.
1 second, then I need to put it in the other spot. Because I did put a note there for you. Remember, this used to just say saucer, and then I edited this one.
Yeah.
Not fair. My
Has
fork
tea
doesn't
sauce
have a
on
note.
It used to say still has sauce on it.
Yeah.
Because it was just a saucer.
Yeah. So he'll get that brewing and he'll kind of like share it around.
Okay. They'll all fill a little stone cup with some of your brew.
He'll fill like the actual teacup, and he'll say, "This was the first thing I looted."
And one of them pulls out like some little like toy of some kind, like a toy car. And he's like, "Yeah, I took this off a family I slaughtered, the first family, a house I looted. Found this in the kid's bedroom. Looks pretty cool. I bet Tiamat will like it. Looks expensive is what I'm getting at."
Barnaby's just sipping his tea. Mm-hmm.
He kind of like nods in appreciation. He says, "Yes, very nice." And he like kind of like pats his pockets and pulls out like his 10 gold pieces. And he said, "I saw somebody running from town, and I knocked them down and took this from them after I kicked them to death."
And all the people around stop laughing. And then one of them laughs a little longer, goes, "Poor people."
So anyways, yeah, he like brews his tea and he like drinks it a little bit and says, "So we just came back by the cliffs there. Any idea where we're heading next?"
I'm not really sure. I haven't had a chance to talk to Resmir at all, but I'm sure he's thinking of something. We usually just kind of go when we're told.
Right. He'll nod at that, and he'll just stick around until he finishes tea, and he says, he like puts his teacup away and stands up and is like, "Well, it was a long trip to get here. I think I will go rest so that I'm ready for the next raid." And he
That's a
kinda
smart
takes-
move. I double raided once. Oh, felt it for weeks.
So yeah, he'll take his leave and he'll go back to Kynek and tell him that he learned that these people are all jerks and that Resmir decides where to go next. Someone named Resmir.
That was one of the names.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess after that he'll just wait for Zap and March.
Is Kanik gonna question anybody while that's going on?
No, since they're mostly humans, I don't want to draw attention.
Okay. And okay, let's go over to the two sellswords.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk up, and I'm just gonna pat another sellsword on the back and say, "Oh, what a raid that was, brother!"
And while you're talking, he kind of turns around and like hits you with his elbow, not for damage, and says, "Watch where you're going."
Oh, sorry. I thought we were celebrating. Oh, what a payday this will be when it's all done.
You're damn right it will be. You see how much fucking loot we got from those assholes?
I didn't get a chance to tally it all. There was so much. Oh. Man, I cannot wait for this to be done. And then I can go and spend all of our hard-earned pay on women and booze.
I kind of want to ask them for more. Did you see how much they keep? Like, yeah, they gave us like, a couple hundred gold for that, but did you see how much they took out?
I did not, brother. Tell me. How much are they holding back?
Like thousands.
Thousands? How rich was
Thousands.
that? How rich was that town?
Well, it's not just the money, right?
I suppose.
Their stupid dragon god doesn't just care about money, he just cares about how much things are worth. Doesn't have to be gold pieces.
Did they keep any spoons?
If they're worth anything.
Spoons can be worth a lot.
Interesting. So where are they keeping all of this? Because I don't see anything around the camp.
Oh, it's off limits. We're not allowed back there.
Back there, yes.
The cave that
Yep.
they guard.
Yep, the
we
big
can't
cave.
Get into.
Right, with
that
all the
one?
guards. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing about the cave. Oh god, my memory's not very good. I've been drinking too much. You know what I'm
And-
talking about though, right? The other thing?
And he says, I mean, yeah, that, of course.
Right. Yeah, because everybody knows about that.
Yeah. There'd be no
Right.
need to say it out loud.
Right. But if one was to forget.
Make a persuasion check. He's like, look, I know you know.
Yeah, you're right. I was asking for my buddy here. He was embarrassed. And
I
didn't
wanna
supposed
be
the
tell
one to tell
people
him.
about that.
I don't remember much.
Yeah.
We have to keep that a secret.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to tell him because I don't know how the rules work around that. Like he's part of my party, but also he should have just remembered.
Well, Mondoth and Resmir have to clear them to go in.
True.
They'd probably be the ones to clear them to know what's in there too.
That's true.
Right.
They're hoarding all the spoons. Understood.
Yeah.
Basically, we're getting paid pennies on the spoon here, Hare.
You're right. Imagine all of everything we can have. Well, for your troubles, I pull out a teapot lid. That's it. Hand it to him. Get a lot for that.
And at this point, you guys see the blue dragonborn kind of fly overhead and land back towards the cave, and they move aside as he walks in.
Is it a dragonborn or a dragon?
Half dragon.
Okay.
It's a half
Okay.
dragon.
Okay. Yeah. I'll shuffle to the side with everybody, like just kind of line up, follow suit.
Oh,
Do what
it's
they do?
happening. Yeah, they wouldn't really do anything. It's happening over.
Oh,
You
okay.
just kind of see them fly overhead and land like loudly, boom, over here and just walk into the cave.
Oh, that's Cyanrath. He's intimidating, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Wha-
a character for sure. Gets us in
Yeah.
over our head sometimes and then just flies off.
I wouldn't want to cross swords with him. You see what he did last night? Oh. It's wild.
Oh yeah, that was just some little punk though. I could have taken out that guy.
No, I don't mean the display, that farce of a show. I mean the whole raid.
Oh yeah, no, it was very well orchestrated. They're very good at planning things for people who can't seem to get some decent fucking food around here.
Not just the food, brother, the women too. It's lacking in women. All these prisoners we take and not one for us.
Well, I don't know if celibate's the right word, but I don't think they get their rocks off that way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they've got us to reinforce them, and most of them they should pay us appropriately, you know?
I agree.
What do they do with all those prisoners anyway? Surely they're not all just working.
We have them doing manual labor, moving rubble, taking down tents, putting up tents, setting up meeting rooms.
What a
They're kind of just like intelligent dogs, really. They kind of useful.
what a waste. These camps, they're always missing a good entertainment district.
Yeah, you know, people like you and me, we're gonna be gone tomorrow anyway. They're gonna tell us they're not gonna pay us. They're gonna think that we're bluffing and we won't leave, and that we really give a fuck about their
True.
Tiamat.
Yeah. They seem pretty convinced that Tiamat's gonna save them, but all I care
Oh,
about
no,
is
they don't-
getting paid.
I don't know if they think Tiamat's gonna save them. I think they're fucking suicidal idiots.
Think so? You think they're doing all this just to get themselves killed?
That's what I think.
You might be right. You might be right. Dragons
I don't-
can't be trusted.
I don't think Tiamat's the kind to be like, oh, hey, thanks for summoning me back into the world. You have a party sometime?
Tea party?
Yeah. What a party that would be.
I mean, I guess
Oh,
a tea
well.
party.
You know, you and I, we see eye to eye. I like you. I didn't get your name.
Better that way.
Ah, true. It was a test, of course.
If I tell you, I'd have to kill you.
I half-heartedly laugh a little bit. Just take a few steps back. Enjoy your drink, brother. Enjoy your drink. I'm
Remember
off to
use
get
that.
some rest.
Remember the spoons.
And
Alright.
he says, if you find any of that antelope that they brought in earlier, grab me a piece.
Will do, brother. Will do. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna turn around and
Find the
walk away.
antelope, we're gonna keep it all to ourselves.
Got him.
They'll show.
Thousands of people, one antelope.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, try and seek out Barnaby and Koenig and regroup, I guess. See if we can combine some info together.
Like while they waited, Barnaby probably be like putting a bee in every tent. Just so that nobody's like, my tent's full of bees. But just on the off chance that like a few cultists would get stung and inconvenienced.
Yeah, make it look like they're all around.
Yeah, just like they're out in the wild and bees are getting into their tents. Ah, darn.
Right. I'm assuming we were able to meet back up
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
easy enough. Okay.
Barnaby's will share that he learned that Resmir decides where to go next.
Okay.
Heard that from
And
some
then
cultists.
And then I'll share what I found out about the cave, where, that seems to be where they store the really expensive stuff that they care about. That it seems there's some unrest with the hired help in how little they've been paid in comparison to the overall haul. So there should be lots of riches. and that nobody seems to be allowed in there without clearance from Rasmir. Oh, and that the prisoners are all made to do manual labor. I wasn't able to locate them off that info, so. Anything else that was of importance there?
I think that was it.
Guess he wanted food. He said that there were some raiders who brought in antelope, but I don't know if that matters. That's just food.
Maybe they have something really big to feed.
True. Like a whole raiding camp?
Or an arg monster.
Or a
Yeah,
lot
true.
of bees.
Yes. Many, many bees.
So many bees to feed.
Yeah. I mean, that's all pretty good info, but we still gotta locate these prisoners, so. I don't know, maybe we just walk around more?
Walk around, do a rough slave count.
Yeah. Do we want to try and get some eyes on the cave? Or do we want to stay away from there?
Cave seems scary. Could scout?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling like we should wander around a little bit, try and spot some slave work.
Yeah. See
So
what's
no
going
scout
on in
cave
the big
yet.
town.
Don't do that yet.
I was gonna say maybe that, as we're walking by, if the hare wants to hop close to it, but not, not too close. Maybe. Depends on how confident you are.
Sure. Let's walk by it first.
Yeah.
Or let's just walk around first. When we get close, we'll see.
Yeah, I like that idea. So yeah, we're gonna kind of just wander the camp for a bit.
Okay.
You can let us know if anything happens.
Sure. Can do. This is all still kind of the camp that you guys were in before. And as you kind of get down to about here where you looked like you were going a second ago, you would notice that this kind of over here. Oh, that's not right. This area over here seems to kind of be where some of the people who were doing the manual labor are coming in that weren't wearing robes. As you've kind of observed a bit more, you've noticed that there are some cultists doing manual labor.
Okay.
And also some other people, or is it just the cultists?
It looks to be people in common clothes and certain cultists.
Ah,
Okay. Interesting. Wonder if it's a punishment or.
who knows?
And you see, particularly over here, you see 2 or 3 tents that are in significantly worse shape than the others. Like kind of like the really small kind of triangle type tents that you may have seen over in the Kobold Overflow area.
Okay. But no real kobolds to be
No,
seen.
just those style tents over here. You can't see into the tent. It's a really small tent, but it has a door.
Okay. Ugh. Well, this might be at least one of the areas where they keep the slaves.
Could search around. Do we know what we're looking for?
You're looking to find how many prisoners, and while you're looking for how many prisoners, you're also looking to You may be looking to see if you can find Leosin.
Would Zap
Who's
recognize
Leosin again?
No, he's not from Greenest. He was just in Greenest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who's
Um,
Leosin again?
He's the monk that the guy said knows the most about this camp more than and like these cultists more than anybody else.
Right. Okay. So he's not someone we've actually met before.
You've never met him.
Okay. Yeah. And he's supposed to be just like a slave laborer, like they've captured him and put him to work, or
You don't know. He at first the guy said maybe he was captured, maybe he was killed, maybe he tried to infiltrate himself, maybe he's in here. You don't know. You're just if you could find him,
yeah.
save him if he's in here and held captive, basically was what they asked. Try to locate him and see what you can do.
Okay. Interesting. So
I
he
I
could
look
be
at
anywhere.
one
Alright.
of the two with the robes, and I'm just like, gonna sound crazy. I want you to punch me and yell at me. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna pretend that I'm one of the people working.
Hmm.
But it needs to be done quick, so we're not just standing here for a while. I need a cultist to punch me, not a bandit.
I'll put a little bit of distance between me and the rest of the group. Make it look
Not a
like I'm
punch.
not with them.
Can't punch myself.
I mean,
Wouldn't be very.
Barnaby is low on strength.
That's fine.
I'm
That's
no
not a
higher
bad
on
thing.
strength.
He's gonna lean into it. You won't have to roll to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he says that, Barnaby just like, sorry, and then he'll like, kind of raise his voice. And he's like, what was it? What do you mean? Who's Tiamat? And he'll just swing.
I love it. The most generic thing.
Yeah.
There's no more way to be like probably right than saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll just like, not like a big swing, but just a punch.
I'm gonna let you guys choose if you want Barnaby to roll damage or Hare to roll.
Roll what?
Barnaby, you either roll damage or Hare roll.
You cut out again.
You cut
Yeah.
it again.
Cut out on roll.
What do I
Okay,
roll?
hold on.
What would I roll?
I should not be connected to. Okay, one sec. There we go. I was connected to my voice mod thing that I shouldn't have been
Yeah.
because I'm not using voice mod tonight. Either Barnaby roll damage or March roll.
You cut again?
Happened again.
What? Just tell me what I roll. I know what Barnaby rolls.
Performance.
Okay.
Performance.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
damage is
Do you want?
Just
Do you want
roll.
some guidance with that?
Just roll damage. That's
Well,
fine.
if
I
you
want to
roll
just be
damage,
punched.
he doesn't have to roll.
Just
It
punch.
takes-
one damage.
Just punch me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take
Yeah,
a damage.
It's just
And
one.
hair
Okay.
roll.
I don't know why it cut out there every time.
It was great.
And
Because like it's
now,
not cutting out now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just when I say performance.
yeah.
Cool.
I'm guessing
Yeah,
you were.
and then he'll point over to where they're working and like, now get over there and get to work.
I'm gonna do that.
So as you kind of go in and amongst those tents, you notice that there's somebody like actually the decal background. You notice that guy kind of on a post like that. He's not surrounded by people like he is in that photo, but you see that guy on that kind of X style tie down.
In the middle of that.
Behind the tents.
Okay. He's just on there
As-
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's there alone, tied up like that.
What's his
Oh.
name again? What's the guy's name again that we were looking for? Leosin?
Leosin Irlinfar?
Yeah, Erlenthar.
Close.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of. Is there anyone? There's no one around him though.
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna just walk up to him.
Sure.
Leosin.
He doesn't pay you much mind. He's just kind of looking down quietly.
Anything? What you up to? Hanging
Oh,
around?
you said something to him? I didn't.
Yeah, no, I said
Oh,
Leosin
sorry.
originally, and then I went to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the first word I just said was Leosin.
I didn't realize your character said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And he kind of looks up and he says, looks around and he sees you and he says, "Yes."
What you doing up there?
I'm gathering information.
Ah.
Just hanging around.
I go like right up to his ear. So are we.
Oh. What have you learned?
You're a little bit quiet.
What have you learned?
That I'm terrible with names. The guy who starts with an R.
Resmir.
Resmir plans things. There's gold in the cave that they're holding from bandits. The kobolds are treated terribly, which everyone knew that, I think.
So you guys haven't learned very much at all then.
No. We've been looking, but we decided to stop by here pretty soon because we were told that someone who's useful might be here. By useful, I mean informative. Come from Greenest. They were dragons.
I was there.
Oh. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Do you want me to... Do you want me to cut you down, or do you want to stay here so you can get more information?
So, as you make a perception check before he answers,
Stabbed in the back. Because +3 means nothing. No, it's actually not that bad.
you would notice that he's in a very poor physical state.
Oh, so he doesn't
He
want to
looks-
actually be like that.
He,
Got
he
it.
looks like he's been beaten badly.
Well, I mean, he's still gathering
look-
information.
He looks like he hasn't eaten in a while. He looks like he's like weak.
Yeah.
And he says, "I think I can get more out of them."
Is the information how many punches you can take? Because I'm at 1 so far. I can also take a boulder. That happened.
That's I don't know if that's impressive for your kind or not. It's impressive for a human.
Boulders? Yeah, it hurt. But I'm here.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. What do you know, though? Maybe we can, I mean, we look the same as far as I'm concerned. I can get up there. They'll never know the difference. Take you down. Let you heal up a little bit.
If I don't think that'll work.
Okay, well, if you don't think it'll
I-
work, that's fine.
I don't think you being up. I think they'll notice.
You're telling me we don't look the same to you?
No,
Oh,
the ears for one, and the fur from head to toe,
what ears?
and the teeth,
And I go and, like, I feel the 2 ears. Oh,
and
there are ears there. Okay.
The eyes and
Uh.
the whiskers.
Ah,
So we're, the only way that we're similar is how dissimilar we are from each other. We're both very dissimilar from each other, and that's probably the only way that
we could
we're
work with
really
that,
gonna-
though. Maybe we're so different they won't know the difference.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, so scrap that plan. You seem pretty beat up, though.
Yeah, they got me pretty good.
are you supposed to be up here for a while? Like, would me taking you down alert some bad people?
I don't know.
Because I was told to bring you back if at all possible. And I don't want to, go against that.
I think I can learn more. I think I can help people.
You can help people while you're alive, not dead.
I'm too stubborn to die.
That's not how that works.
You don't
I'm sure
know
there were some
humans
folks in
very
Greenest who
well.
believe the same thing.
So, hear me out. Took out a sword and I put it on his side against it. If this went through you like this, you'd be dead. Doesn't matter how stubborn you are. Put it back in the sheath. That's simple. I'm not going to do that, of course. But they might. Then you're dead. Then no one gets helped.
I need to know what they're doing back there.
If you let us in on it, we could help. If you give us the information, we could do that.
It'll take too long.
But you dying won't get information to anyone else because it'll be on the dead person, and that's it.
I'm gonna make it out of here.
Once again, you can't just say things and make them happen. I've tried. See? Fly. I just jump up in the air. I fall back down. Can't do it.
I don't know how to explain it, but I have determination.
This is not Undertale.
We did listen to a Deltarune song.
You're correct. Okay. Can you give me some information that you have at least so that when you die with determination it doesn't go to waste?
He says that sorry, I had a cough.
What he said? You should have some tea for that.
I agree.
I think that I'm of special interest to them.
Why?
I don't know, but they haven't killed me yet.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's unusual for them.
Yeah, checks out. They killed a
I
lot of
know that.
people. Got it.
Yeah, you think what they did in Greenest was bad. Greenest wasn't the first.
You know next time that they're going to be around?
Who?
I mean, people who are going to interrogate you for things. You're trying to get information from.
I don't know. I've
like
I've just kind of been listening to the people as they walk by
Oh, okay.
and picking up information that way. No one's really.
We could do the same.
I think
But
they're
we're
trying
healthier.
To starve me to death.
We could do that, me and a couple of my friends, and then we would live. And we can get you down and you can live.
We have an extra cultist robe.
We could sneak you out.
I know Barnaby's not there, but we do have 5 good berries left, each of which counts as a meal.
We could help
Throwing
you.
that out there.
And we could carry on listening, because anyone would listen. I just learned I have ears today. I'm a great listener.
What if I miss the one thing we need to know?
We can get that one thing, though.
I've been following them for years.
Yeah, but this isn't healthy. You're not healthy. Look at yourself. You look terrible.
And he says, I think I can learn more and get out of here.
Okay. You're not coming with me. Got it.
I
Well,
mean,
pull out a fork. I don't even listen to anything else he says. Pull out a fork. Put it in his pocket. Talk into this if you need me. And I walk away.
I can't use my hand.
I didn't hear it. But yeah,
I
it's just
know.
in his pocket.
I know. He
Yeah.
whispers that as you walk away. He's like, I can't use my hand.
You gotta talk louder. I don't yell that or anything. And of course I don't actually hear that.
As you look around the rest of the prisoner area, it's total.
As I look around, did anything happen?
DM's dead again.
No, he's good. He's just rolling dice.
No, you're good.
Sweet. I don't die. Okay. I want to listen to things like he did. I want to spend a little bit of time to listen. Do some labor.
He's been here for hours.
I mean, I guess I'll go back, try and meet up with the group again.
You can try, but he's been around for hours and more preliminary
I mean,
to pick up
I'll
on.
go back to the group and ask. As far as I'm concerned, the cave probably shouldn't be a thing we go for. And
Yeah, you were not asked
the
to go into the cave or
safest
sneak into a
bet.
cave.
So we know he's there. We technically could return with the information. He said he's gonna live. Yeah, I'll go back to the group.
We can mage hand him some food.
He doesn't want any help. I tried. I tried many times to help him out, and he said no.
We could always force the issue.
I can punch you, and you can go back in there if you'd like.
He punches a cultist this time. The cultist goes to work.
There are cultists that are in there working, so we could do that. If you want to go talk to him, you are more than welcome to.
Oh, I was thinking more along the lines of we cut him down.
You can go back in there and cut him down. He was very persistent. He did not want to, though. He's fine. I gave him a fork. If he needs help, he'll speak into it. I'll hear him.
Okay. What the fuck?
What will you do?
I mean,
Report back to the quest giver. I mean,
If-
the governor.
if anyone would like to go in and do that, like that is in character me saying that. Someone else can go and try and do anything. I'm not trying to force anyone away from doing that.
Okay, whatever you guys decide will be the last action that we do tonight. Because we've only got like 15 minutes.
I mean, Barnaby will shrug, and I guess he'll start walking in.
Okay.
See if
The
he can
Deck Barnaby in the back of the head as he starts to walk in.
Are you going to take damage or roll performance?
Ouch!
It's 2 damage. That's it.
Oh, it's 2. Okay.
I have 1 strength. Yeah, a 1 strength plus 1.
All right. Yeah,
I don't actually
he'll,
say anything. I just deck him in the back of the head.
He like rubs the back of his head and like kind of looks back over his shoulder, and you hear like a buzzing, like the buzzing gets louder for a minute,
No hard feelings.
and he like calms himself down and keeps going. And anyway, yeah, he'll go back to Leeson, and he'll like kind of keep his hood down, and he'll be like, all right, Leeson. Or actually, no, I don't think he'll use his name, just in case they've never actually called him by name. Because he's gonna pretend to be a cultist, and he'll like take out one of his pieces of like the honeycomb, like the goodberry honeycomb. He'll be like, I've been sent to make sure that you don't starve to death before we can get the rest out of you. And he'll like, the guy's hands are tied, right?
Yeah, it's
He'll
exactly
basically
like the
just, like-
background picture.
Yeah, he'll basically just like first throw a piece at him,
Okay.
and then he'll like, assuming he probably didn't catch that one,
Let's
to eat
let's
it.
see.
Okay.
Yeah, he catches it.
Oh, sick. All right, then it's a game. Barnaby will toss the next one to him.
He'll eat from your hand all day.
Yep. All right. Barnaby will feed him the last 5 pieces of honeycomb. And then he'll go back to the party. And
Okay.
whenever he meets back with them, he'll like, well, he won't starve to death.
Gonna ready my fist. Anyone else want to go in?
I don't know. He doesn't want to come. So what if he makes a stink and gets us all caught?
That's why I had to trick him.
Yeah, the only way I see us getting him out of here is if we force him out. But I don't know how well that's gonna go over.
We could knock him out and then ask where they throw the bodies.
You just healed him.
It's gonna be harder to knock out now.
No, I didn't heal him. I just made sure he got a full meal. There's a difference.
It still heals for 5 hit points if you did 5. Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. But also, is he the only one in stockades?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that doesn't feel right either. That indicates special interest to me.
Yeah,
He
he
did
said he
say
had
that.
something. He said he thought he was special.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
how do we convince him to come with us and get out of here with him without being caught? Like,
Maybe you can't. Maybe you can.
We could just knock him out and,
I don't know.
just
Koenig
knock
seemed
out
to
his
wanna get him out.
stocks. We're gonna go get rid of the body.
Let the bees handle him.
Go give him to the bees.
You've seen in cowboy movies where they bury you up to your neck and then let the ants get you. This is
Those ants are actually bees.
kind of the same concept.
Okay, let's take. Look, what does everyone think? Let's just right now. We got to decide. We're in the middle of a cultist camp. The longer that we stay, the harder it's gonna get. Are we taking him? Are we not taking him? Are we going back? What are we doing?
No, jeez, these rules happen.
we've
Barnaby-
got about 500 feet. We'd have to drag him out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Barnaby just wanted to make sure he was fed. He's fine with leaving personally.
Yeah, I feel like we either have to convince him to come with us willingly
He
or
won't.
leave him.
He won't. He won't come with us willingly. I tried for a very long time.
I guess we just go.
Yep.
Back we go. We have the information
So-
he came for. He'll be alive for a little bit longer. Maybe we can get back with more people, because right now this is not going to happen.
So, okay. He doesn't want to come with us, but does he seem like he values his life at all?
No.
Okay, then, yeah.
He
I was gonna
values
say
the
maybe
information.
he'd keep quiet in the interest of not dying, but
No.
we could still force him. But
Well, I don't think he wants to die. He wants to get more information to help.
He
So
doesn't value his life over that information, though. He made that very clear. I've multiple times tried to tell
Correct,
him
but
that he would die
right, but if we're forcing him to leave,
and not
is
get
he
that
gonna get
information.
himself caught and killed?
I mean, probably not. I don't think he's going to actually kill himself, essentially.
Okay, I wanna go in and just talk to him.
Punch and zap in the back of the head.
What? No, I'm just walking in.
Nope. You can
I
performance it.
dodge. I dodge out of the way, or attempt to.
Make a performance check to pretend to be hit.
No, I don't want to be hit. I want to just sidestep it and walk in.
I said to pretend to be hit.
I don't even want to pretend to be hit. This is ridiculous. I
Okay.
just
You walk in. You walk
Okay.
in.
nobody cares. Nobody's watching.
Okay, hold on.
The dice are telling me something different, that he's rolled
Yeah.
3 or 4 d20 in this entire amount of time.
I haven't seen that. I legit haven't been watching the the chat.
Oh, yeah,
box.
he rolls
I
it
have.
every time we walk in and out, which is why I've been trying. Well, not why. Yeah.
Make a charisma check.
Riz-
Making a charisma check, whether you're getting punched or not.
You can walk
If you're
in.
s- okay, yeah, I'm just gonna walk in. I'm gonna look around at like all the prisoners and be like, oh, not a good looking one in the bunch. God damn. And then I will see Leosin and I'll walk up and say, you're particularly ugly. God, what have they done to you?
What haven't they?
Hmm. And then under my breath, I'm gonna say, we need you to come with us.
Look.
Greenest needs your help.
I told your friend. I just gotta get a little more information.
There is nothing more you can gain without dying in this place. And I'll guarantee it. Because if you don't come with us and help my hometown, I'll kill you here and now.
Roll intimidation or persuasion.
Sure, whatever.
He doesn't want to die.
Yeah, sure, but he can't actually talk to the hair or anything. Talk to him for half an hour and I'll get done.
I still think I could get more information.
What the fuck?
If you don't kill me, I think I could.
But I will if you don't come with us.
Well, I'm useless if I'm dead, but I'm telling you, I think it would be more useful if you guys and I stayed here.
There's diminishing returns on your use. And if we leave you here, you'll die before anybody gets that info from you.
He's not going to go for that line. I tried that so many times.
I snuck
And-
into this camp. I can sneak out of it. I know where
can't.
everything is.
You can't if I end you now so that you can't talk about us if they put pressure
Well,
on
yeah,
you.
if you kill me, I'll be dead, and I don't want that. So I'm asking
Right.
you to not kill me and just let me do my thing.
You're a liability to me. I can't leave you alive. Not after you've seen the face of me and 2 of my comrades. We need your information. Greenest needs your help.
2 of your comrades.
So are you gonna come with me? Or am I gonna have to kill you here and now?
Now he knows that Barnaby tricked him. He was tricked by the bees.
And he says, well, I'd rather not die.
Alright. How do we get you out of here? What's the easiest way out? You got in.
Front
How do we get you
gates.
out? Front gates. Half a kilometer away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna need a miracle.
We'll have to make sure we don't get seen, but unless you want to climb a 150-foot cliff when nobody else is.
How injured are you?
Very.
How
Not as very as before.
how much are you gonna
Mechanically,
impact
I
us?
can't move nearly as far as I should.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is there a better way?
It's the
Like,
only
if we
way.
have to use the front gate, how would you do it? You're the
I would
you're the sleuth who got in here.
I would sneak around in areas where there's more brush so I can not be seen as easily, but not necessarily sneaking to the point where I look suspicious. Hiding in plain sight, blending in.
Right. So walk along the edge of the town.
We do have 2 unused cultist outfits.
Yeah, I have a cultist outfit in my backpack. All right. Why are you the only one in the stockade?
I don't know.
Have you, in your entire time in here, found anybody else in stockades? Or is it just you?
I can't really see much from here.
This is the only place you've seen the entire time you got in? You got caught right away? And you
Shortly after I got in.
and you think you're gonna get us more info?
Well, yeah, it was just bad timing.
Right. Right. Bad timing.
We were getting back from raiding Greenest.
Right.
They're not usually back that quickly. I've been watching them for a long time.
Somebody's confident in their ability. Okay. Yeah, as far as I see it, they care about you for whatever reason. They got you chained up here and not dead for whatever reason. And we have to get you 500 feet away.
Yeah, it's about the size of it.
All right. Well, you better be damn sneaky.
I'll do my best.
And I'm just gonna use my dagger. How is he up there? Can I just, is it just ropes that I can cut?
Oh, yeah,
I
you
guess
can-
I should
you-
check that.
You can cut him down. There's no check. You can cut him down.
Okay, I'm gonna just quickly try and cut him down and
Mhm.
toss the cultist robe to him.
He puts it on.
And I'm just gonna basically walk out and motion for him to follow.
Yeah, we have to get out of here before they notice I'm not here.
All right. And I'm just gonna walk past the rest of the party in a kind of a semi-brisk but
So,
normal
I'm gonna turn
pace.
this on. Just give me a route with like using that
Okay.
the token lock mechanism, and
Yeah.
we'll figure out how many potential event rolls we have to do based on the total length. Or we already know the total length, but
So
I might have to do different things.
actually, I'd like to move that end to here.
Mm-hmm.
and he's in robes. So we're gonna kind of like see this path.
Yep.
This natural path.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna kind of just stay adjacent to it,
Mm-hmm.
but with enough like distance that we could get into these shrubs or whatever they are.
Who all is wearing
Unless-
robes?
Unless anybody disagrees, I kind of want to go this route.
I mean, I'll put it back on.
I'm gonna leave my robes off, and I'm just gonna kind of walk ahead of the group.
How
That's-
far ahead? Like 5 feet or like 30 feet?
Like,
or-
like 20, 25
Okay.
kind of thing.
Enough
Yeah,
that
like-
you don't look like a group.
Yeah, enough
Part
that
of the
I
group.
am completely separate from whoever.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and match my pace to whatever the pace of this dude is.
Okay. His pace is 20 feet.
Okay, that's not that bad. That's like casual stroll. Okay.
That's it. Well, that's his max.
Yeah, but that's like. Oh wait, what do you mean max? Like
Like
if he's
the-
dashing?
Well, no, not
Well,
if
we're
he's
not
dashing, but like
We're not
well, like,
dashing.
Okay.
You guys can, in a turn, move 10 feet more than him. That's a significant amount over the course of 625 feet.
Yeah, but when you compare it to like a dwarf and a halfling, it's not that bad, right? Like, so he's kind of like slow, but it would be like
Yeah.
a casual stroll for me, right? Like I could just kind of look like I'm looking around town, maybe. So I don't outpace him too
antelope.
much.
So, for now, I'm going to do a separate set of rolls for the. But Zap, make another charisma check.
This was so bad for me. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I didn't
Those
mean to
weren't
roll that there, but
But it's fine.
I need you guys to make 3 charisma checks.
You cut out. What?
3 charisma checks apiece?
Yeah.
Oh.
The group or me too?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I probably could have just made all these at once. Ooh, Barnaby's getting us caught.
Okay. When you guys get about, we'll say, I'll move
Probably
right
just
to
approve.
about here.
Where are we at?
You should be coming here, right?
It's gone.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I go pretty far.
Oh, that ain't
There.
bad.
Sure.
Yeah, that's doable.
So it depends if you kept walking when this happened or not. You could have, otherwise you'd be back here.
Okay, but oh,
If you
Got
kept
people
walking
switched there.
when this event triggers, would you have kept walking?
That's
or would
Zap
you have
up
stopped?
there. So
Oh,
I don't know what the
um,
event is.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, that should be Zap. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I would have probably, yeah, I guess it depends on what the event is, but I'm assuming I would have kept walking unless it was like immediately obvious I needed to help them, right? Like,
Okay. So right here,
if it's not like an immediate threat, I'm gonna keep my guys up. But if it's an immediate threat to the party, I'm gonna turn around. Does that make
Some-
sense?
one of the kobolds says, "Hey, isn't that bee guy?"
bee guy. Since when have I met a kobold?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they were all leaving the city when you were there.
Oh, okay. Barnaby
And,
like looks around for whoever he's talking about.
they're like
'Cause he also has like the hood pulled low, and he's not wearing any kind of bee attire, and nobody's ever seen his face. Because if they did, they'd be like, "Holy shit, this guy's a zombie."
they must have heard
Scary.
us. They must have smelled or heard something on you.
Okay.
They're over here, and everybody far like. Remember, most people are like back here-ish. Or I don't know if I can draw better lines than this. So like, you guys got a pretty decent jump on them.
Right.
But people start to run around the camp to get arms and stuff.
Okay. So we want to probably run.
Is we gonna get into an encounter?
So wait, does it seem like the other two have been made yet? Like, does it seem like they've made Kynic or March Hare?
I mean, I feel like at this point they probably also recognize that Leosin is with you. Like they just kind of come to the realization once your party was pointed out that you guys are.
Okay, because I was about to basically like maybe try to like minorly attack one of them and try to distance myself to the group so that they can get out unimpeded and then I can just make a run for it. Or like they could chase me out.
You could do that.
I mean, no, if it looks like they've made our entire group, then no. Let's.
So Zap, having heard one of them get made, probably would have just like motioned as if to say, "Book it," because like we're out the gate basically, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, like I think the best course is just to run and try and like get into the trees. Like, but he will wait to see what the others do. Like if they follow his motion or if they look like they're gonna fight, he'll
Barnaby
pause.
will, I guess, get between the rest of the party and the people chasing us, but he's ready to run. Just because he's kind of tankier.
Yeah, I'll run.
I guess I'll also wild shape, so like all the bees will billow out of the like cultist robes and swarm around them.
Okay.
Don't forget all your bees in the tents.
What? No, he put a bee in each tent that he passed.
Right.
Yeah, don't forget them.
Yeah, don't forget them.
They're all safe.
Ah,
Cause
there's more
chaos.
bees.
Can always make more.
No, I just
You
mean
guys-
activate them, cause chaos.
Can I send some bees at the guy who called me out?
Sure.
I can get him.
You get them.
Where is
And you guys get chased for a while. You're not too inclined to turn back because you're outnumbered probably 50-1, so you just keep running. And you eventually lose them. And
Yes.
that's where we're going to end it tonight.
See, sometimes you just have to threaten your allies.
We'll see how that ends up.
Look, I don't care how it ends up. He lived.
He might have lived the other way too. He was very confident.
Yeah, he was. But he also
Very
got caught as
stupid.
soon as he entered that fucking camp. That guy was so dead.
Maybe he got caught on purpose.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just surprised we got out, to be honest. That seemed like such a long distance to go.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know, it was so easy to walk in there, too. I don't know why I was nervous. It seemed like everybody at the camp just had their guard down.